thought that he's going to take some type of a homie discount, I think it's absurd. And I think if he's crying over 2 million with the 49ers, they at 26, he want 28. I don't see him taking a pay cut.
I don't either. I get what you're saying, and I definitely agree with it. But just, from what I can see, realistically, it doesn't make a lot of sense to overpay.
Right.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to overpay him. And what I mean by overpay him, I mean that we are in a situation where we have to get it right. We can't not get it right. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't not get it right. We gotta get it right. We got to. And that's a situation where $30 million, I mean, realistically, that is our whole linebacker core with Bobby Wagner. That's way too much money for one player. And from what I've seen with Adam Peters, he's not overpaying anybody.
So you just think the deal not gonna get done?
No, I don't think it. I don't think it'll get done for $28 million. No. Now, this is the thing. How many years did San Francisco offer him as well?
Right.
Did they offer him a long term, or did they offer him 2 years, $26 million, where it's no security in that? You get what I mean? I get my money. Yes, I get my money up front. But there's no security in those years. If we could offer him, let's say 6 years, because he's young enough to offer him a 6-year, 7-year deal. If we can offer him a 6-year deal, and then we could bring that number down to 20, then maybe we might could be talking about something. You get what I mean? We can get him in a long-term structured deal. If that's not the case, then spending the extra $10 million per year don't make sense to me. Just to me. And not saying that he's not worth it, because he might be worth it. But with what we already have is what I'm saying. Because we gotta pay. We going, if Jaden Daniels does well, we're gonna have to pay him. He gonna hit the bank for 30, 40 million. Easy. Let's say we got 70 left. So let's say 2 years from now, say Jaden Daniels is good for the next 2 years. 2 years from now, we're gonna be looking to reconstruct. We're gonna be looking to pay him 30, 40 million. Okay? So realistically, 2 years down the line, that could be Brandon Ayuk and Jaden Daniels. Who you gonna pay? You gonna pay Jaden Daniels? You gonna let Brandon Ayuk walk? You get what I mean? Realistically.
Yeah, my bad, fellas. I'm back. My bad.
Yeah, realistically,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, me personally, either way, whether your players say it and you listen or you don't, you know what I'm saying? It still go back to the captain for me. You know what I'm saying? And I treat it like business should be treated, because at the end of the day, I mean, now, granted, if something go wrong, one of your employees, you're gonna fire that employee. But it's it doesn't take away from the fact that the problem that was caused, or the issue that was caused, didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, because if a problem happened and you don't do nothing, so who's at fault then? Is on the big man then. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I'm sticking with Peters. It would be all Peters. Especially not only this guy, you got an insight on this guy already. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you ain't worked around this guy, you don't know what he's capable of or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would have to put that all on Peters.
I mean, I get it. I'm not putting it on Peters though. Jaden Daniels, you taking some of that smoke because you vouching. You vouching, Slim. You vouching, Slim. You telling me to do
Nah, I'm not gonna do you like the mafia. Oh, you brought him in here. This is on you. This is on your head.
That's
I'm not gonna do him like that. I'm
so
not gonna do him like that simply
bring him in.
because this is not the mob. This is a business. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? You've been ahead of
he's
your
gonna
business.
do outdoor
Even if
stuff.
somebody does vouch for him, and you got even more insight on Ayuk than anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't
Even
care
Jay
what
Daniels,
you
because you've
about this
seen
guy.
this. You
You
huh?
vouching for this man. You showing up in the spots where the media at. You making me look stupid, homie. As if I'm ownership, you making me look foolish. Like I can't do my job. So since you
Why?
vouching,
Because you with your friend.
nah, you showed up at ESPN studio.
Now see. I want to know if it would have been a even bigger deal if Jaden Daniels didn't have no name.
No,
So why should it matter? You know what I'm saying? At the
you
end of the
walking
day, yeah,
you
you jumping out here, you
so
got the name. But if he didn't have a name, it wouldn't matter. So why y'all making such a big? Why is the media making such a big deal about him showing up to the joint? You know what I'm saying? Because if Jaden didn't have no name, it'd have been like, oh, he brought one of his teammates with him, or his former teammates. They hanging out. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been so big. I think because it's Jaden
you went
Daniels and the
you walk.
media haven't had nothing to turn up on here.
I
You know,
disagree totally. I disagree totally. First and foremost, what about the okay? Well, how do you explain the TikTok video then? If this ain't orchestrated, how do
I
you
think it
explain the
is.
TikTok video and then next a couple days later they showing up at the ESPN studio together?
because they
Come on,
homies.
big
It
son.
ain't like they don't know
Come
each
on,
other.
big son.
It ain't like they don't
Come
know each
on,
other, bro. That's like me and you. If I come through somewhere, oh, big son, we're road. It ain't like we ain't met.
bruh.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
orchestrated plot of epic proportions that has reached our televisions and our living room.
Yeah, it has, but
Jay
it ain't.
Daniels is
That's all.
LeBron
That's
James.
all it's gonna do.
Jay
That's all it's
Daniels,
gonna.
Jay Daniels moving like LeBron James.
He
Nah,
is.
I ain't gonna give him that. I'm not gonna give him that.
Is he not
I'm
I
not
for
gonna
agree.
give him that.
I agree
Nah, I'm
with
not
you
gonna
on
give him
that.
that.
you?
I'm not gonna give him that.
He recruiting. He recruiting. He recruiting.
Nah, I ain't gonna give him the LeBron stamp.
You heard of
Nah,
low
I think
GM?
I think
Now it's JD, JGM.
I think his stature's a little bit. He don't. I don't. I'm not gonna give him that. You know what I'm saying?
Creating super teams. He trying to start creating super teams.
I mean, his boss creating super teams.
What you
You know
mean
what
his
I'm saying?
boss? He the
His
one that's
boss
over.
create. He don't have the power to put the team together.
His
He
boss
don't have
been
the power to
sitting on
put the
his
team
Betty
together. His
Crocker.
boss do.
His boss been sitting on his Betty Crocker doing nothing while I'm out at the ESPN studios with the man. While this man had to do me, while I'm doing his job. That's what Jaden Daniels saying. Peters, you ain't getting nobody. I'm getting them.
I mean, Jaden Daniels ain't getting nobody neither because he ain't got the money to. You can hang with a dude all you want. If your boss say, "Hey, look, I ain't got the money for that boy," you can tell him go look for a job somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't give Jaden Daniels
Man, he
the
outwitted.
LeBron King James label. Oh no, LeBron did a whole lot of puzzle moving on the chessboard. I mean, piece moving on the chessboard. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wouldn't give him that. This is only one guy, and I mean, have we heard him actually say, "Man, I'm trying to play with"? What he said was, "They don't want me no more, dog." That's a dude talking to his homie. And then the joke with his bun, like, look who I'm on the phone with. Oh, you see how the response was? She knows Jaden. His bun know Jaden. It ain't like they don't know each other.
To do with them orchestrating.
See, that's what I'm saying. The media is orchestrating. The media is pulling the strings. Hey, I'm on TikTok and see this.
They came to the media. The media ain't come to them. They came to the media.
They was hanging out.
Get two ESPN studios together.
They was hanging out. Are they not off? Is Jaden not off? They just got off. Did he say he was going down Florida?
They came to them. They went to the media.
Didn't Jay say he was going down Florida?
Whether he was going down Florida or not, he walked into ESPN studios in Connecticut. That ain't in, they studio ain't in Florida. It's in Connecticut. Brandon Ayuk live in San Francisco, or he supposed to be playing in San Francisco.
But I mean, they hooked up. From the talks of San Francisco, they won't be doing nothing.
Hooking up in Connecticut. This was orchestrated. They flew to Connecticut to do that.
Well, I would say this. In that situation, you know, if Brandon Ayuk and Jaden Daniels train together, they probably would link up. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, it sounds gullible.
Right? They probably linked up to hang together for a couple days before they go down Florida and train. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Last show we did this same subject. You know why? Because the buzz had got so big. If y'all think that they wasn't aware of what they were doing when Jaden Daniels showed up to a Ryan Clark interview with Brandon Ayuk of all people right now.
I don't think it's calculated.
I don't know about that. I ain't gonna say it ain't calculated. I'm gonna just say
I don't think it's calculated.
Hey, I'm gonna just say that I don't feel like Jaden Daniels knows how to navigate in the NFL yet. I will say that for my personal opinion. And that is my personal opinion. I don't feel like he knows how to navigate just yet in the NFL. And so certain things he do will be questionable. He's a rookie. He's a young guy. He's a rookie, you know. And
is Brandon Ayuk using Jaden Daniels to get more money?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Because whether he signs here in Washington or anywhere else, he's going to get the bag. He's going to get the bag.
Well, I would say that he's going to get a bag, but to push the narrative of I can go somewhere else, I think that's probably what that is. You got to push the narrative, and that's the way to push it.
Well, let me ask you this. Is Jaden Daniels aware that he's being used?
Yes.
I think he's well aware. He's not a dumb guy by a long shot. I think he's well aware what's going on. He's very smart.
So he's approving of him to be used in this manner.
He don't care because that's his homeboy.
Yeah, he don't care.
That's his homeboy.
You're creating a target on yourself.
Is he really creating a target?
Why wouldn't he? Oh, you bold, big boy. I'm gonna have to show this big man that he ain't as big as he think he is. He's showing up. He's swaying trades. Like he LeBron. That's who I just compared him. I'm out here comparing this man to LeBron on you rookies, on you young bucks. That's how Jaden Daniels looking at them. I got them. I do what I want to do. I'm running this. I move players. I'm so strong now as a rookie. Before I even step on the field, I'm moving players from one side to the other. That's how hard I go.
I don't feel like he feels that way when he's doing that. I'm not gonna put that on that man.
That's what he's doing, though. Actions speak louder than words. His actions speaking for him. He coming up in ESPN studio like an agent. Yeah, like he the agent.
We don't know that, bro. We don't know that.
That's what Ryan Clark said. Live on NFL Live. That's what Ryan Clark said in the interview. Oh, Brandon ain't show up by himself. Ayuk showed up with Daniels.
He walked in, but even with him saying that, right? Even with him saying that, he ain't say it like that though. He ain't say it like he was an agent or none of that.
Like that.
He said it like
Very much said it like that. Very much said it like that.
No, man, he ain't say it like that.
That man, his agent. He Brandon Ayuk's agent right now. What? He called his agent. Oh, yes, they don't want me no more. Called his agent. Brandon Ayuk's agent right now. He's telling you where he gonna go. That's how much power he got. He ain't even stepped on the field. And he telling people where they going to play.
Well, in this day and time, you know, players possess a lot of the power where they going.
Yeah.
I know.
You know.
It ain't about where he going. It's about where Brandon Ayuk going. He moved the needle. That's what Jaden
I'm saying. Brandon Ayuk can basically, you know what I'm saying, tune up to a beat the way he gonna go. You know what I'm saying? He necessarily really don't need Jaden, but Jaden is just an extra, you know what I'm saying? I need money and I need my money and I need it now. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of deal that is.
James is letting the league know he moves the needle.
I don't think he's doing all that.
His actions say it. He walking up in swaying trades. He's swaying.
I don't think he's doing that either.
He's swaying trades. What you talking about? Only a player that think they like that is going to do something.
See, now you sizing him.
Nah, I don't think it's nothing like that at all.
How? Why is it not like that?
I just think that Brandon Ayuk and Jaden Daniels had the same relationship that Portis and Sean Taylor had.
Yeah.
That's all I think.
Does his actions say that he think he like that?
No.
How?
His play do. His play do.
Up to ESPN like the agent today. Or yesterday, whenever the interview was.
Well, guess what? He could have showed up to ESPN without Brandon Ayuk, and they would have welcomed him in there with open arms.
No, that's different. Exactly. In light of
it's
what's
not.
going on, that is different right now.
I don't think so.
Gives indication that he wants to play for the Skins and that Jaden Daniels is actively working to get him on the Skins.
But guess what? That deal probably not going to happen anyway.
Why not?
Even though we got the money, that deal ain't going to happen.
Quarterback gonna make it happen. That's what he letting
No.
He ain't letting everybody else know that he got the power to make this happen if he wanted to happen. You don't think so?
Nah.
Well, what is he doing with him then?
That's his homie. That's his homie. They about to go train. And before they got in, they went up to New York. He say, come on through the train with me, man. You know what I'm saying?
They are in Connecticut.
They sitting back laughing. Like me and Leo right now. Yeah. Like these niggas really think we trying. We just homie, you know. Let's run with it. See how much the media gonna take off this one.
They muscling the league.
Why not? Nah, I think they just having fun right now. I think they having fun.
You showing that he the muscle, baby. I'm the muscle around here.
I think they having fun.
Feel like
I feel that he don't feel that. He's been on every interview, every little thing, throwing out the first pitch. He's moving around like he's a man. What you talking about?
He's supposed to.
I'm not saying he ain't.
He's the new guy, but I'm not saying I don't think he's doing it. I don't think he's doing it in a disrespectful way.
I didn't say it was disrespectful either. What did I say? I say he think that he like that.
I don't feel like he think that. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like he's doing it in in your face disrespectful way.
I never said it was disrespectful. You ain't got if you think you like that, don't mean it's you disrespecting nobody. You just think you like
that. I disagree. I think that it's sometimes when you in that Joe, you trying to show who you are, I don't think you're doing that.
So, but how is he not if he know that the San Francisco 49ers is actively trying to pursue Brandon Ayuk? He getting in their business. He in their business.
I can agree with
He's
that.
Stepping on their toes. Look, man, them people. Come play with us. I'm with you. Right here, ESPN with you, man. Forget them people. Come play with us. Welcome. Come to Death Row if you don't want to be all in the videos. If you don't want your coach offering you $2 million less. Yeah, come to Death Row. That's how he going right now. He should not.
I don't feel that way.
Nah, I don't. I don't either.
If he know that these people
think
so y'all don't think he's stepping on San Francisco toes?
No, San Francisco stepping on their own toes. They already said they ain't want him. They already said they ain't want him no more. And Brandon Ayuk stated that in the video. So San Francisco actually,
When did they say that?
Oh, let's go listen to the video.
No,
Brandon Ayuk says in the TikTok video, they say they don't want me no more, bro.
That's what he said.
That's what he said, right?
Yeah, I don't think that it's truth to that, though. I think that Brandon Ayuk, in my opinion, Brandon Ayuk was acting a little sensitive right there.
No, I think it was based on the money that they offered.
Yeah.
He looked and
That's
said,
what I'm saying.
based on the money they offered me, they don't want me.
Yeah. And I think Brandon Ayuk is wrong for that. I'm gonna be the first to say that I think Brandon Ayuk is very wrong for that.
I don't think a man wrong for getting. I mean, what he's worth. Just because your team loaded, that shouldn't be your fault. That you shouldn't get paid your work.
Bruh, them offering you 26 instead of 28 is not saying they don't want you, bruh.
If hold on. Yeah, hold on. 2 million to to me seems like a lot missing. Now, dude of his stature, we got to look at what he's been getting paid, bruh. And he's been producing like that. He's only been getting 3 million. So y'all been underpaying him and getting a lot of production, and now y'all don't want to pay him. That's a problem. You're gonna pay
Regardless,
me my worth, or I'm going somewhere else.
but bruh, listen what I'm saying, bruh. If a team offers you, and this is a negotiation here, right? You say
Hmm.
you're worth 28, right? And the team say, all right, cool, we can give you 26. That's a negotiation. That's not saying that they don't want you. That's actually saying that they
Yes,
do
it is.
want you.
No, see, this is my thing. If I say something that I want, don't come in and lowball me. If you lowball me by like, maybe 500,000. Don't lowball me by 2 million, bruh.
Nah,
Like,
bruh,
no,
that's
I've been
not a
giving
low
y'all.
ball, bruh.
No, I've
That's
been
not a
giving
low
y'all good
ball.
service. I'm gonna say it is because I've been giving y'all good service, and y'all been underpaying me these last
Y'all
couple
both got
seasons.
a point. Y'all both got a point.
You know what I'm saying? You've been underpaying me these last couple seasons. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna sit up here and take 28. I
But
don't
for
care what
you,
you're
it's
saying.
still petty. It's still really petty. It's almost top of what you want. It's close to what you want. Not everything of what you want, but it's a work with. It's a work with. Knowing that we got to pay all these people, we still found 26 million for you too, bro. You might can't
Yeah,
get
man.
everything you want, but we got a lot of what you wanted. Almost there. We
But
ain't there yet. We're gonna try to get there. So for
but
him not
yeah,
to work with them, because we know that they could say, "Oh, you only did this because you in our system." Everybody who's in our system performs like this. So, I mean, we're doing you a favor. They could have said that, Brandon. Man, we doing you a favor. You ain't worth that for real. Our system is worth that. With you in our system is worth that. But you go somewhere else, you ain't worth that though, for real, homie.
and I think if they do something like that, they will find out that they're very wrong.
I'm just saying, like they could say that and say, hey, we don't even really feel like you even worth 26 for real, but we giving it to you.
You know why I think that? You know why I think Brandon Ayuk will take a pay cut to come somewhere else?
Why?
Because I think that he feels like Ricky Pearsall is going to be a part of their. It's going to take passes from him, right?
Right?
So if you're going to take passes from me, that means my number's going to be shorter, meaning y'all ain't got to pay me as much. So I think that he'll take a cut to go somewhere else that, like Washington, because we really only got Terry that's been consistent. I like Jahan, but he hasn't shown up exactly yet.
I mean,
Nah,
but it's still nah. I mean, you still got Austin Eckler, who's had
I
100
mean, John, to
some.
be honest, Jahan's time that he showed up was his first season. He didn't have a chance to do it second season. I'm gonna just say that because I wouldn't even count nobody's second season with what's the name in them around here. You know what I'm saying? The last two, to be honest, because what they were doing was not winning football. They were tanking, and they definitely tanked all the way out last year. Like that was ridiculous. So I wouldn't really put too much onus on what players did in the system, especially last year. You know, so I'll give
Terry still
Jahan the
got
fresh start.
Terry still got his 1,000,
Yeah, they forced it. They
bruh.
forced it.
Bruh, if you open, you will get passes.
No, bro, they forced that. Let's stop. They forced that because they won. What was happening in the early part of the season?
I get
A,
it.
a
I
lot, a
get it.
lot of that, a lot of that came from Sam Howell overthrowing players. Yeah, Jahan didn't catch the ball a lot, but Howell overthrew him a lot as well. So did he do? So he did the same thing with Terry. Did the same thing with Sam. He was overthrowing everybody. You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
it.
So all I'm saying is I'm really not going to discredit Jahan and all the other receivers so much. I mean, because To be honest, Terry should have had way more than 1,000 yards.
I mean, you could say that, but what I'm saying
And,
is,
and Jahan should have had at least 800, 750 at least.
yeah, you could say that. You could say that all day. But what I'm saying is, in my opinion, Terry still got his no matter what. And you can't say that about everybody else.
Because everybody else didn't get the chance to get there. They forced paying Terry 1,000. They forced paying Terry 1,000. And it's ridiculous to say that because how many passing yards Sam Howell had this season. It's crazy to say that.
Did they force it to Terry? Or was Terry just the best receiver that we had? He was the only one consistently getting open.
I think they forced it. Because there was some games Terry had a lot of targets but had low completions. They forced it.
To be fair though, Big Son got a little bit of right, and I'm gonna tell you how why I get what logic I give to that is because if you look at Sam Howell's interceptions, many of his interceptions came when he was throwing the ball to Terry McLaurin. Almost every game, he had an interception trying to throw the ball to Terry McLaurin because they had it on there who he's trying to throw the ball to when it was interception. They had that stat. If you pull it up, you pull that stat up.
And that is 95.
And I could go to that, and I can go to the stat if y'all want to see it. But a lot of those passes, when he threw interceptions, he was throwing it to Terry McLaurin.
That's cool. That is fine. That is not Terry.
No logic to what Big Son is saying on the force thing.
Is that Terry McLaurin's fault?
No, I'm saying when Big Son said forced, they were forcing it. That only happens to me repeatedly like that is when you're forcing it to one play and this play is covered.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, the man still made the catches. And that's what I'm saying.
Nah, what I'm saying is they didn't give the same attention to no other wide receiver the way they did to Terry. And they forced it because a lot of them games he didn't have a lot of catches. Some of them games, but he had a lot of targets. You taking targets away from other wide receivers.
Is he? If he the only one catching it?
How many times did Terry drop the ball, or how many times was he overthrown? You know what I'm saying? Because he only got like what? He only got like what 70-something catches this year. But he had way more.
Terry don't drop a lot of passes. He don't drop a lot of passes. You got to know that. You got to know that he's not dropping a lot of passes.
Now, I agree with Point there. I agree with Point there because
whether you throw it into coverage or not, that ain't on him.
Yeah, now the thing is, I ain't gonna say whether you throw
Nah, because if you throw it in the coverage and it get picked off, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say that they looked at the film. I think that I credit that to teams looking at the film and them running a lot of plays towards Terry McLaurin and them really and teams understanding what they were trying to do to get what they wanted to do to get Terry McLaurin the ball. That's what I attribute it to. I attribute that to Eric Bieniemy. But however, I'm just saying to Big Son's credit, I do believe there was some forcing to McLaurin, and that's not even a knock McLaurin. Yeah, that's not the knock McLaurin. It's not the knock him. That's like saying Jordan, they was forcing it to Jordan. Yes, they did force it to Jordan. You know?
Well, listen. Last year, Jahan Dotson had 83 targets.
83. Yeah, but see, everybody look at how many he caught, but everybody don't go back and see how many times Sam Howell overthrew him.
And now I'm not gonna put that on Sam Howell either. Dotson had we can go to his drops. He had some drops.
He did, but Sam Howell had overthrows as well. We can't discredit. We can't discredit Sam Jahan Dotson for drops, but give.
Sam Howell's completion percentage was like 68. It's high. It was super high.
All I'm saying is that That man got 83 targets. He only caught 49 passes. Don't get me wrong. It could be better. It could be better. It could be worse too. So what? That's all right. It's not horrible. You know what I mean? But realistically, 83 targets, you're supposed to have 600-700 yards easy. And you only had 500 yards. That's not on. That's not on nobody but him for real, in my opinion.
Hold on, bro. I'm see. We have this conversation a lot, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna break down each game because I'm tired of my man getting badgered when Sam Howell threw all these interceptions and was overthrowing people left and right the whole season. And now we're gonna sit up here and act like because he got 83 targets and only caught 49 of them, we're gonna sit up here and act like he dropped what 50, 52 of them passes? Like no. Or 54 of them passes? No. No. I'm not gonna do that. Sam Howell was throwing in double coverage. He was overthrowing people a lot, like by hairs, overthrowing people. An overthrow is an overthrow. And if you throwing that ball out of the reach of a player, if it touches the tip of his fingers, that wasn't a catchable pass.
And Kyle's completion percentage last year was 63.4.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
Completion percentage.
But I'm gonna go back myself and break down how many times he overthrew Jahan out of them 54 passes that got supposedly dropped. I don't think he dropped majority of them 54 passes. I think majority of them was overthrown. That's just my argument. That's just what I believe, what I was seeing. I seen Sam Howell, even though he had a good completion percentage, he should have had one. He threw the ball I don't know how many times a game. He was throwing the ball up. It's about 35, maybe 35 plus each game.
Right.
Each game, you know what I'm saying? So you should have a good completion percentage. And most of them good completion percentage came from what's that? The Cardinals, the 2 Eagle games, and probably the Denver game. Well, a good percentage.
Yeah, he had a good percentage. So that's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that.
It's a good percentage. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still 38% of it out there that you know what I'm saying ain't being talked about.
Right.
You know, so that's 50. I mean, not 38, but 37.
I felt like his main problem was sacks, but I think that was because of the offensive line was bad. We watched film on them, and we saw it. Like
we watched film, we seen the numbers. You know, numbers don't lie.
Yeah, film even more don't lie. I always say the numbers can lie a little bit, but that film ain't gonna lie. That man people wasn't even blocking people.
Well, I will say this. They said that he had 56 catchable targets last year. So that's not a lot of spots where they was catchable targets.
Who, Jahan?
Yeah.
So 56 out of the 49.
Yeah,
that's about 5.
Last year, though.
You said, huh?
Yeah, 5 drops.
Who, Jahan?
Mm-hmm.
All last year.
Yeah.
So my perception was correct, right?
No.
No.
You dropping the pass.
Yeah, 5 drops. 5 drops is I don't know how.
Bro, he only had 5 drops last year.
But that's a lot, I think.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. 5 drops, bro, out of 18 game season. And you got targeted 83 times and you only dropped it 5?
I think that's a lot.
No.
I don't think so.
The context of it. When you really, really think about the context of it, bro, you gotta think about 5 drops, 17 games.
But bro,
that means you are dropping a pass every couple games, and that's not good for an NFL wide receiver. I don't care who you say.
Why is it not? Wide receivers drop passes all the time. We sit up here critiquing this man like that's like saying a running back don't fumble. It's going to happen. Wide receivers drop passes, bro.
If a running back fumble 5 times in 1 year, are you gonna be happy with that running back?
But we're not talking about fumbling. We're talking about dropping passes.
It's the same thing.
No, the fumble, 2 or 3 of them, and you like, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Passes, bro. 5 for a whole season. That's cool for me.
Drop.
I'm sorry. That's cool for me. That's like one every 4 games, bro, or one
Um,
every 3 games. That's like, nah, I'm not mad about that man dropping one pass every 3 games. What am I mad about that for? Over a whole season?
yes, yes, bro.
And it
That
just
means you
proves
are,
my point even more. It just proves my point even more that Sam Howell was overthrowing niggas.
no,
How do you
man.
overthrow that man that many passes?
Bruh. Just looking
It,
at it in real time, right? Sam Howell
He
overthrows him
had no,
2 times
he
a
had,
game.
go ahead. Point, my bad. Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying
Sam
though,
Howell.
y'all are y'all getting the same stat line that I'm getting though? Do y'all get what I'm saying? 49, he caught 49, dropped 5. So what the hell happened to them other 30, 40 something passes? Sam Howell ass overthrew him.
Well, you got to
Um,
remember too, he was sacked 65 times. It ain't like he had a lot of time to sit back there.
Oh, y'all are not. No. What we're not gonna do is give Sam Howell, any type of leeway to walk out the door. We ain't giving it for Jahan. So Sam Howell your ass got sacked. That's on you. You
John
overthrew. You overthrew
had
him.
5 drops. He had 5 drops.
That's 5, bruh. That's 5 drops. I'm not mad about that.
He could
Over
have.
over over 18 game season. I'm not mad if a nigga dropped the ball 5 times. That's
Yeah,
once every 3 games.
supposed to never
5
drop.
times 3 is 18,
I'm the
bruh.
first round pick.
Once every 3 games.
it's not every three
All
games
right,
because
see y'all being too
technically,
critical.
listen,
All right, I
it's
bet I
17
bet y'all
games.
I bet y'all the top receivers in the game this year had 5 drops. I bet y'all. I bet y'all. I bet y'all. I bet y'all the top receiver in the game, one of the top receivers in the game this year had 5 drops. That's
Now
not
listen,
it's
listen,
not like it
listen,
don't happen, bro.
listen, bro. Listen, what I'm saying. Yes, it happens, right? But if you talk about a top receiver, that means his production is so high that if he does drop a pass, it really doesn't matter that much. When you're talking
But
about
see,
somebody,
my
when you're talking
argument at
somebody
first was
with
about whether this was Jahan Dotson's fault or not. Now we talking about his 5 little measly drops. I'm
no, but
stuck on the fact that this is Sam Howell's fault that his stat card looked like that.
Eckler had more drops than him. He had 6 last year.
who
Who?
had who,
Austin Eckler on our team.
Mm-hmm.
He had 6. But it's the team. The guys
he's a
with like,
running back.
okay,
His
so
job
Puka
is to
Nacua led the league with 13 drops last year. Puka Nacua had
Who?
13 drops. Puka Nacua had 13.
Oh, one of the top guys in the league.
He was
13 drops.
as
Tyreek
a
Hill was second
rookie,
with 12.
as a
Ty-
rookie, as the
Tyreek
number.
Hill was second with 12.
As
How
a
many yards?
dog.
How
As
many
a
yards?
dog. Nah,
How
as a
many
dog.
yards? Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Bruh,
How
no,
many
bruh.
yards?
I'm not gonna listen to that. We talk about
Why?
top dogs. Y'all just said top dogs dropping passes is not good. That nigga had
Yes.
12. I don't want
Yes.
to hear that.
Yes.
No,
That
it's
don't.
not good.
Passes though.
You
That's
He's
just said it.
12, bro.
You
Tyreek
just
Hill's known to drop passes though.
That's
he,
12.
listen to what I'm saying. He is a rookie, first and foremost. You got a rookie that drop passes. Yes, he's a fucking rookie. So what? He drop passes. He's a rookie.
No, I'm
He
I'm
was
I'm
the
not
number.
talking about
He was the number
Puka. I'm
one
talking
option.
about Hill's ass. He's
Okay.
been in
Okay.
the
No.
league
No.
for a
No.
minute.
I gotta address both of them. I can't just say one, right? So with Puka Nakua, he had all them drop passes, but he had way better production than Jahan Dotson. Okay,
Look at who his quarterback is too. Look at who his quarterback is too.
bruh. Listen to
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm.
bro. Come on, man.
Talk about look at the
That man was
quarterback.
not overthrowing them people like that.
Listen, bro. Listen. What I'm saying is production. I'm not talking about the quarterback. I'm not talking about nobody else in this situation. I'm talking
But how
about
you gonna get production? You ain't getting nobody getting proactive out there. How you
you
gonna get
got.
production and nobody being proactive?
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. In this same system, you do have a receiver that caught 75 passes and caught and had 1,000 yards as well.
Yeah, it was force
So,
fed to him. Though.
so, so,
You force
so,
fed him then. You
even
had
if
to
you
force
did,
feed Puka the cool that.
even you did, because they didn't have any other receivers. Cooper Cup was hurt half the season, so he was the only option, wide receiver option for real. So, let's be real. Like, he's a rookie and he's the only wide receiver option, and he produced. It's not like he didn't produce. He produced. He got the best out of what you would expect a rookie to get the best out of. He's the rookie of the year. He played well enough to be rookie of the year. He did have mistakes. He's a rookie. Now, my thing is now I'm gonna go to Hill, right? Hill, who is known to drop passes, not having the best hands in the league, but his production is why people want him. His speed is why people want him. Look at the production. Look at the yards difference between those two receivers and Jahan Dotson. And then tell me that Jahan Dotson produced.
And then tell me what quarterback Jahan Dotson got to produce that. You got to have a quarterback to produce that for you. Ain't no quarterback.
Bruh.
What quarterback in that? What quarterback? Name one of our quarterbacks in the system that would have did that this year.
Bruh. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying
But,
you only get production out of somebody who's producing.
right.
If your quarterback is not producing this type of atmosphere for you to play in, how you gonna get production out of it?
I'm not saying that Sam Howell doesn't play a part in it at all. I'm just saying that from what I seen, Jahan Dotson didn't step up. He said it himself. If
He said he had a
why would
bad.
he? Yeah, why
I
would
was
he
saying
say
I had
he
a
had a
bad
bad
season
year?
too, but
Why,
the drop five pass, bro. I'm not that down. To me, I'm not that down on myself. Knowing what we was dealing with last year, even hearing the language in the term, man, I'm not even putting that much into what happened last year on that field with them, and especially since he only dropped five of them, and I thought it would have been way more than that. Like, nah, no, I'm
bruh,
not.
just
I'm not
my
even that
opinion.
mad at that situation because, to be honest, it need to be looked at like in all reality. That's all to me. That's saying for in a major way. That's saying for just like you force fed McLaurin all them balls. He a lot of them games he got 13 targets and made had 5 or 6 catches. You know what I'm saying? So like, nah, you force fed that man. You ain't do John that way. A lot of
He,
games we
I
was
mean,
wondering where John was at when he be open.
89 passes is kind of force feeding.
No, 83,
83, 80, 83,
83,
83 is kind of
83.
force feeding,
No,
especially if
how
especially if
many
he only
targets
caught barely over
how
half.
many how many targets did Terry McLaurin had?
That's a good question.
I think he had when last year.
Yeah.
I think it was like 130 or something.
Mm-hmm. And tell me that ain't forcing.
Yeah, I think
You
it was
can't see your
130.
hand at that point.
Yeah, 130,
Yeah.
That's
130.
what I'm saying. Only end up with 75 catches.
How many drops?
Yeah, let's look at that too.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Is that
Hey,
regardless?
both of them was 30. If you ask me, both of them was above 30 incompletions. Terry and Jahan. Actually, Terry was double the 30. He was 60 almost, like 55. Terry was hurt beginning of the season.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
played through injury.
I agree. I agree. I totally agree. Well, let's move into the next subject. Now, Jaden Daniels, man. I don't know, man. I think it's a bit much though. I think him being all in the news, all in the cameras, playing Suge Knight. Um, I don't know about it. I just don't know about it. I think it's just gonna give him an unnecessary target that's just not needed right now, in my
I
opinion.
mean, we gotta see. We got a couple months down the road. We shall see. You know whether this will be cost effective or not.
You right. You right about that. Cost effective is a good word. Cost effective is a good
'Cause,
word.
I mean, having a Brandon Ayuk in this room, in this wide receiver room, like I said, it would get pretty crowded, and you would definitely have to get rid of the army in my eyes. You bring Brandon, that definitely sends a sign that the army would be out of town.
Oh, you don't think he would make the team then?
Mm-mm. Nope. Well, you know what? I don't know. I think if he did make the team, that would be Terry, Dotson, McCaffrey. I mean, Terry, you, McCaffrey, Dotson, Crowder, and I don't know. It would be up ahead between three receivers. Probably what's the guy from Georgia Saints Marcus Saint or whatever his name
Okay.
him. It would be
Yeah.
between him, Milne, and Deami. That would bring a pretty crowded wide receiver room. I mean, it's going to bring more competition. Don't get me wrong. Competition is always great. And if you're getting rid of good players, you're doing something good on your team. I mean, you still got good players. So it would definitely post for a good wide receiver competition at the end of the day. But it will also overcrowd that wide receiver room.
Yeah, I think it will too. I think De'Ami Brown, although he's had a good camp, if we get Brandon Ayuk, De'Ami Brown is as good as gone.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So the thing is, on this subject, around the clock, right? Around the clock, there has been a lot of hype about this team coming out. These the new kids on the block. These the this the that. How do you guys feel about that? The hype train.
Uh,
What
Hold up,
behind the team or what?
hold up. And I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up so y'all get to see what I mean by the hype train. By the hype train. I mean, this reminds me when it comes to the hype. This reminds me a lot of. Excuse me. This reminds me a lot of the RG3 season.
I mean, we came out. I mean, it was a very slow start. It was scary slow, but the way it picked up was definitely epic and history forming moment in that time. When RG3 and all that 2012 season was definitely history making, history forming, but it definitely started off very slow. Um, it was a lot of us, including myself, ready to throw in the towel. But when I seen that team come out, what game was that we played? We had lost. Was that to Atlanta that we lost to?
Mm.
That
Not
game that made us. I can't remember whether no, it wasn't Atlanta because Atlanta we had lost to Atlanta when they was 5-0, I believe, at that time. Or when they played us, they came 5-0. One or the other. They was 5-0. But we didn't start our run to like week 10 or week 9 or something like that. I can't remember the exact team it was. I don't want to. I want to say
yeah,
it was what was it the Thanksgiving joint?
we was 3-6 when we started our run.
Was it the Thanksgiving game? September.
I don't know, but that's
It
week
might have
10.
been. It might have been that Thanksgiving game because the Thanksgiving game that lands on around week 10 or week 11, something like that. So we was 3-6. True. I don't know. If we had a bye week yet. And I don't think we had played the Cowboys. No, we didn't because we played the Cowboys at the end of the season. We beat them at the end of the season too with Alpha Morris. But I think that might have been the game. Let me go back. I think that might have been the game. But that was definitely an epic season.
okay.
So
So let me play some clips. I'm gonna play some clips and what they saying about these skins right now.
You used to live there and did radio in the Bay Area. That I was thinking about Brandon Ayuk, and I like Brandon Ayuk a lot. I think he's a top 5-6 receiver talent in the league. But it's really interesting because I always say this: a lot of what you make in life, how valuable. Forget your talent and productivity. How valuable you are to a company, that's your leverage. You can be talented. Companies, I mean, you know, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, yeah, fantastic. You know, and Fox at some point made a decision. And so talent alone is not getting you paid. It's your value. There's a lot of great tight ends who have never made great money. There's a lot of great running backs. Saquon Barkley's a stud, and you know there's not a huge market for that. But if I look at the Niners, here's my knock on Brandon Ayuk. The most important person with the Niners is the brain of Kyle Shanahan, then the legs of Christian McCaffrey, the pass rush of Bosa, I would say the versatility of Debo, and then the protection of Trent Williams. I also think Kittle is a culture setter, his physical style of play. So I'm at like 6 people, and they drafted 2 receivers.
Okay, so basically, okay, that wasn't what I wanted to play, but that is just showing you the hype train. Everybody is talking about this Jaden Daniels Commanders thing. Everybody is talking Commanders, Redskins is what I like to say. Like right here, the NFL Live, I believe this.
Looking to build a chatbot for your website? On Fiverr, you can find AI experts who will quickly and easily.
Here with us for the hour. Let's roll, people. We begin, of course, with those 49ers. Brandon Ayuk has been wanting a new deal with the Niners. San Francisco says they want to keep him, but as recently as last week, Ayuk hinted that the money isn't where he wants it to be. The receiver market, of course, continues to boom. So it's also a matter of exactly Ayuk's value, where that is for the team or maybe another team. Obviously, we're going to just go right to our NFL insider, Ryan Clark, on this. RC, you spoke with Ayuk recently. What's going on with him this week?
They're actually meeting with the San Francisco 49ers today. He and his representation, Ryan Williams of Athletes First, you know, and Brandon Ayuk told us that he wanted to set this meeting up himself. And when he was sitting with the Pivot, he said that he's taking these negotiations personal, that the way that they have negotiated with him, the way that they have told him why he's worth what he's worth, it has touched him. It has affected him. He says he wants to be in San Francisco first, but is comfortable playing elsewhere if that's something that the San Francisco 49ers are willing to do via trade. And I will tell you this. When he sat with us, he did not walk into the room alone. First, it was Brandon Ayuk. Second, it was Jaden Daniels. I'm not a tea leaf reader, but the way that sounds is that Brandon Ayuk wouldn't mind playing in Washington.
Well, listen, he played with Jaden Daniels. I'm sure the two would love to get together. There were some conversations at one point between the 49ers and the Commanders. Commanders were interested, but they decided not to do that deal. And so the 49ers didn't want to move on from Brandon Ayuk anyway. And I know he spoke with Ryan Clark, RC there, but the fact of the matter is, despite the fact that he said the 49ers don't want him back anymore, that's just not true. They absolutely do want him back. And according to RC, they are meeting today. That meeting will involve the 49ers general manager, John Lynch, the head coach, Kyle Shanahan. They'll be meeting to have a nice discussion here before training camp is scheduled to kick off next month. We'll see what comes out of that meeting later today between all those sides. RC will bring us the latest on SportsCenter later, on NFL Live tomorrow.
Hey, I'm done
sure
now,
we'll be waiting with bated breath. Yep. And then next week, Laura, just so you know, Laura.
So I'm just saying, when you look around the league, we are the story of the league right now. Is it too much? Too fast?
Not really, no. Nah, I mean, you know, this is a well put together team. And I just think that, you know, when you got a well put together team, you usually get that type of stuff. You usually get that type of look, I would say.
Is it too much was the question.
No, that's what I said. No, I usually get that type of look.
Not that usually. I say, is it too much? Will we be overconfident going into this? Like right here. Let me pull this screen up. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I mean, maybe not to y'all. Maybe y'all don't feel like it's a lot. That's why y'all have y'all own opinions. just like I got mine. I'm just saying, for me, I would just like a lower profile. I mean, you know, like right here. Look what it said. ESPN Insider. Can y'all see that right there, right on the screen? Right.
Can I say something before you read it? I don't think that it's too big. I think that the names that we have here are big. You have Bobby Wagner, leader and commander of the Legion of Boom for years and did it at a high level and was still doing it. He came here. You know, you got Louvu. You had Panther fans and sports analysts that will watch Panther games where they getting spanked just to see Louisville work out. Then not only Louisville, you got Jeremy Chin that came from that same team that they were smacking heads and being coached. Their defensive back coach was D'Angelo Hall. You know, so um, the guy got some gall with him, and I'm pretty sure Louisville had to line up and cover sometimes. So he was taught by Hall at times as well. So I like the fact that them guys are there. Those are big names. Then you talk about Biadasz. Then you talk about um, Fowler. Those guys are names that ring bells. Clellan Ferrell. You know what I'm saying? These guys are household names, and people know these guys. It's not like these guys are unknown or something. So when you bring in these type of guys, you go out in the draft and you do good in the draft. You grab Jayden Daniels, you grab a Luke McCaffrey, you grab a lineman to go with that. You grab a Joel McGee, who was a good middle linebacker. People really don't know about him like that, but Shorty's solid. You know, Hampton is solid. Stanford definitely solid. Vincent Knight, definitely damn solid. You know, so you're going to get talk when you make big moves like this. You're going to get talk around you. I don't think it's big. I don't think it's too much. I think in the past when we moved in good direction, it was talk, but it wasn't talk like this. It's a lot of hype right now. Though. It is a lot of hype.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. It is a lot of hype.
Well,
Definitely
the
a lot of
headline
hype.
says ESPN Insider said that NFL sources believe Commanders, Redskins, and quarterback Jayden Daniels could be scary in 2024. This is what I'm talking about. The hype train. Is the hype train too much too early? Is this too much too early? What you got to
I
say?
don't, I don't think it's a hype train. If you look at what we did, the turnover, this roster, I'm not going to say 10, and I'm not going to say 9 times, but I'll say 7 times better than the roster we had last year to come to the table with.
I got
And
another
to
angle. I got
bang
another angle, right?
with
The
the NFC
NFL.
East,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
to bang with the NFC East, because that's how any team in our division ultimately goes anywhere. You got to take care of this division. You take care of this division, 9 times out of 10, you're in the playoff. You know, so I don't think it's too much of a hype train. I think the guys that were brought in with good quality, I think that they see something in this team that a lot of people, other people are sleeping on. They thinking that we the same old skins, same old commanders, whatever y'all want to call them. I'm not going, slight anybody from calling them what they want to call them. That's on your end. But I think a lot of people outside of the people who know, if you know, you know. But outside of those people who know, a lot of people like, man, they same old team. Nobody's scared of them.
Well, I think I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. I think the NFL ain't got much to talk about right now. I'm gonna be real. I don't think it's as much of us on a hype train as it is the NFL just don't have nothing to talk about. We are the only story that's consistent every day, every couple days. Like no more OTAs, that's out the window now. No more mini camp. That's out the window now. I mean, really, what else is going on in the
I mean,
NFL other than roster moves?
I think times have changed so much. The last time we had a player of this magnitude, a quarterback of this magnitude, was RG3. You know what I'm saying? Coming out top tier, top draft pick. Even with the RG3, it wasn't coverage like this. Even with Chase Young, it wasn't coverage like this. You know, the hype train is definitely up, and like you say, they don't really have nothing else to talk about. We are the talk of the town right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to really talk about. If it was something else to talk about, then I think they might be addressing some of the other things, but it's really nothing else.
They're not even they're not even addressing the bad play or the bad interactions on the field at practice about other players. You know,
Yeah.
um, it's just us. I mean, I've been watching a lot of news and everything, especially on our home front. Um, and it's not like it used to be. They'd be talking about the Nationals and everybody else, but now they talk about the Skins a whole lot. And we a few, not even a few, like a couple months away from preseason game, or a month and a half maybe.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
exactly. Exactly. So I don't think as much as a hype train as much as it's just not a lot to talk about right now. I mean, realistically though, right? How much hype is supposed to be on a team, or how much isn't supposed to be on a team is a good question as well. What's too much hype? You know?
Mhm.
Too much hype is a situation where it's, I think, a distraction, or to the point of no beyond, where you put a target on yourself. I feel like for in-season play. So I think that's where the hype train becomes extra. And I do see, I mean, it seems like a lot of hype is being now. Again, it ain't but so much, because ESPN still ranked this team 27th. But they did feel like, I mean, but they did show all this stuff with Jaden Daniels on.
I mean, true.
So that's a two-way street. That is a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but y'all didn't say whether y'all thought it was too much or not.
No, I
That's what I
said
said.
I
No.
don't think it was too much.
Okay,
I
both of
didn't
y'all
think it
said
was
it's
too
not
much.
too much.
And I'm gonna give you another point why I didn't think it was too much. I think they're realizing how big they missed the last time we had a player of this magnitude, because they were talking about RG, but they were talking about the more so can he do it? Remember? Yeah, he's fast, but he might get caught. He might get hurt. This, that, and third, which he did get hurt, but they didn't cover RG3. I think they feel as though they missed out because RG3 went on that epic run. Didn't he win Rookie of the Year that year?
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So I think they like we're not gonna drop the ball on this one. And they actually have something surrounded around them. They didn't, RG3 really didn't have the the compliment that Jaden is afforded to, Mike, if that makes sense. Because if you look at the defense that Jaden is equipped with, I don't think we had nowhere near that defense. I think we had a nice one. I don't think the pieces that we have now, were anything like the pieces that we had then on that defense that RG3 had. So I think that's a lot to come with it too. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, I agree. I agree.
All right. So now what we're gonna do is we got Terry McLaurin was recently on ESPN, of course. The hype train went and got Terry. Terry gonna be one of the biggest ones that they get, I feel like, So let's get this Terry McLaurin Scott Van Pelt interview up, because Scott Van Pelt, of course, is is a Washingtonian area guy, even though he is doing a national broadcast for ESPN. So him and Terry recently sat down again. Y'all said the hype train not too much. Well, let's see what the national broadcast has to say about the things that are going on in Washington specifically, and we could just go from there. I mean, again, y'all said the hype train is not too much. Y'all said it's not too much. Let's get this Terry McLaurin interview up. Got it up. Let's go. Terry McLaurin on the Scott Van Pelt Show.
One another with this for a couple of years, it feels like. Terry McLaurin in studio with us. I'm grateful that you took the time to come in. It's a home game, at least. You're local, but we saw each other at an event feels like it was 2 years ago. Maybe it was last year. We just said, come on in and come through and let's have a conversation. And now post OTAs, we get our opportunity. Thank you for coming in.
Scott, I appreciate you for having me. Like, since I've been a young kid, I've loved SportsCenter, especially you. And I remember our first interview was after a Eagles game, and I was like, I want to come in. I know you want to talk to me, but I want to come in and hang out with you. So I appreciate your time.
Well, we're local, and anytime you want to come through, we're happy to talk a little bit of football. And post OTAs with what's going on with the team, it felt like that was our on-ramp for this conversation. New coach, new GM, new quarterback, and Jayden Daniels got a lot of excitement coming in with a Heisman Trophy, and in the area, people like, let's go. They're ready to buy in.
Yeah.
What have you seen? I know in the bubble, in shorts, it's the same thing as in the snow in Philadelphia in January, but you get a glimpse. What have you seen from the young man?
I think the first thing that stood out to me about Jayden Daniels is the poise he came into the first day in the building. By the time the rookies got there, we pretty much had 4 or 5 installs in, and I think Coach Kingsbury did a great job of trying to integrate everybody at the same time. So when the rookies got there, we started from ground one, but it seemed like he knew the entire offense when we got there. He's in there calling the huddles through the walkthroughs. He's in there calling the plays, and he's extremely confident. And it's a testament to his preparation and his studying that he did on his own. But also, I just think the kid loves ball, and he has a good feel for the game. So I think he really came in with the right mindset and energy, and guys are already gravitating to him.
It's really difficult in this league for rookies at this position to have success. Although C.J. Stroud, where did he go to school?
Ohio State.
The Ohio State University. He came in, and we talked to him about that last year. He's a young man leading a group of grown men, and he was fantastic. To give a rookie at that position the best chance to be successful quickly, Terry, what do you feel like you all have to do?
Honestly, I think a big part of it comes from the makeup of that quarterback. To be honest, I think I have a history with C.J. Stroud, just knowing him and getting to know him and what he's made up of and the adversity he went through at Ohio State, and it built him for what he was ready for now. And I think Jayden Daniels has a similar story to where he started out at Arizona State, goes to LSU, has a good first year, but that second year he takes off, man, and he wins the Heisman. He has them in contention for the playoffs, and he's just used to winning and used to what it looks like to be a really successful player. And as a leader and as his wide receiver, I would just want to be the best player I can for him. So I'm going to push him. I know he's going to push me, but I think you don't have to tell him what to do when it comes to practice. Like he's out there early, he's getting warmed up. And if he doesn't like a rep that went down in practice, he's like, hey, Terry, let's come over here. Let's get this rep again.
Run it back.
And run it back. And I think that's a testament to his work ethic and how he tries to prepare each and every day in practice, because he treats every practice and every rep like it's a game rep situation.
As one of the top wideouts in the league, obviously you want to try to create that bond and that chemistry with this young guy. I've been reading about that, putting in this work. How important is that? Just very quickly, just to get an idea him for you and you for him, so
Right.
that when we get to September and you play
Yeah.
Tampa Bay to start your season, like you all are on that same page. What goes into that?
Honestly, I think it first starts to get to know the person, and him and we got to talk when he got drafted, and we've gotten to get to know each other over this off-season time. And
So it's important, excuse me for interrupting, but just
Yeah.
knowing the human being just
Yeah.
before you, and like the football's the football, but just
Definitely.
getting to have that vibe as human beings.
Yes, 100%, because I think with any line of work that you're in, it's still about the people. It's still about the connection. It's
Right.
still about getting to know one another, the person that you're going to be going to work with, or in our case, you're going to battle. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you got to know, he has to be able to trust I'm going to be where I'm going to be when he needs me to be there. Like, I'm going to be on this spot. I'm not going to cut my depth short. I'm not going to fade away on an in cut and let the DB undercut me. Like, he has to trust that I'm going to do my job, and I have to trust that he's going to do his. And I think that really starts when you get to know someone, because you get to learn what they're about. You get to learn their whys and why they put the time and the effort into what they're doing. And then it's honestly easier when you have that connection to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, we don't take any conversation that we have in our building amongst teammates personal, because we know our brothers are looking out for us, and they just want the best for not only us, but the entire team. So I think he exudes that, and our personal relationship, I think, is really going to help us and our entire group as we go forward.
I told you about my guy Tim Legler. His one must moving forward is that you must get the ball that first series, and you can tell your quarterback that, and you can tell your new coach and your new OC Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury. 1-7 needs to be getting the ball steady on the regular from the jump.
Yeah.
What's different about? I mean, it's all different, but in terms of being a new head coach, a new OC, and what is the most important thing to try to establish? Everyone's going to say build culture. Where does that start?
I think it starts with the message from our coaching staff. And I think Coach Quinn, the first few days we came in, we didn't really talk about X's and O's. We talked about getting to know one another. We talked about the connection between players and why we're all in here, and how do you get all these guys from different walks of life. We have coaches, Coach Lynn, who's been a head coach, to Coach Kingsbury, who's been a head coach. We got so much experience. Bobby Wagner, we got a gold jacket walking in our building. You know what I mean? So it's like so many different elements that make up a team, but the foundation is built through the work that you put in each and every day. So we've had that training and time to spend with one another since things got started.
Reputations are earned. They're built with hard work, time, and consistency. They're respected, trusted. I'm just a traveler on this earth. Travel Whiskey, the result of reputation.
I think of you still as a young man because you are, but I see a 6 next to your name. You've been around for a bit.
Yeah.
And you've been, frankly, through some struggles. Not you, this team. We know what it's been. We know that you guys are just trying to find that traction that leads to the trajectory. How do you give these guys a bit of grace and patience?
Yeah.
And at the same time, like, look, I'm running out of time here to be patient. I want to win now. How do you balance that?
Honestly, I think I try to stay in my process. And I think when I was young, like, you look around guys in the league and your peers, you're like, man, I could do what they're doing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I think people can't necessarily appreciate as a receiver. I feel like you play probably one of the most dependent positions on the field, because from the play calling to you have to be able to know what you're doing and get open, and the offensive line has to do their job, quarterback and all those things. But I think for me, I've really gotten comfortable being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I don't try to stress who's going to be back there at quarterback, but just knowing that I'm going to be prepared when my number is called. And so it's kind of like a no excuse mentality, where all those things are factors in their pieces to the puzzle, but I'll never hang my hat and use that as an excuse from the unpredictability it's been at times.
I feel like your position is one where a healthy bit of ego is required.
Yeah.
When you look at these numbers right here, and you look at the dudes that you're on that list with: Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, you. 75 and a grand each of the last 4 seasons. That speaks to a high level of high achievement and consistency. Folks might not know that that you'd be the answer, that you're number 4 on that list.
100%.
What kind of fuel does that provide? It's a team sport, but you play a very individual position. So I just wonder what the sort of the motivation was there.
Definitely. I think the balance is knowing, like, I feel like when I'm involved in the game, in the not only the my level of play that I bring to our team, but the energy and the leadership. And when I make a play, I feel like not only our team feels it, but the whole building feels it. Like I've been to games where I can hear the fans, Terry, because I haven't got the ball yet. And I love that support. And I just try to be ready when my number is called. And you want to be looked at as one of the top receivers in the league. I don't play this game not only not for the money and not for the notoriety, but I play to win championships and be the best at my craft.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making sure that I put the time and work in so I'm prepared for those moments. But at the same time, knowing that I have to be able to raise my level of play and bring other guys along with me if we're going to be successful. And I think our coaching staff has done a great job of keeping things simple. We haven't overcomplicated anything this offseason. We've gotten to know each other, and the offense has really been installed in a way where guys can be on the same page and really start to grow from the ground up. And I just want to be that catalyst for our team in the locker room, on the field, and off the field, because that's who I prepare to be each and every day. That's who I feel like I was born to be.
This is a low-hanging fruit question, but I'm sincerely interested in the answer. Success for the Washington Commanders this year.
Yeah.
What's that in your mind as we talk in the middle of June? What's that look like? What feels like a reasonable thing to say, look, we can take a step and do this?
Yeah. Honestly, and I'm not going to even go into record because
I'm not asking you that.
Yeah, and there's so many things I feel like that go into that people don't appreciate. I think that's the standard in which people look at their record. But I think offensively, you'll see an offense this year who's playing with a lot of energy, who's playing together, who's playing unbelievable out the ball. If I were to show you our practice clips, you see guys who don't have the ball running down the field to get a block. That's been an emphasis from Cliff and our entire offensive staff. And we've seen some other teams, San Francisco, to mention one of them, they play great without the ball. And I think that's a testament to the unselfishness that you have to have success as an offense. There's only one ball that could go around, but if you got guys who are playing hard without the ball in their hand, and when they do have the ball in their hand, they're protecting it, they're making cuts, they're trying to do something with it, you're going to have success. And defensively, it's been tough going against them in the spring so far, even though we ain't got pads on, because they're tenacious. And I think Coach Witt and obviously Coach Quinn, they're emphasizing turnovers. So you got guys flying all over the field, getting picks, trying to punch the ball out. It's just a tenacity that I feel like that we possibly missed in the past that I feel like is really there. And when you got guys focused on one mission, who have the connection that I feel like we're building, who have the practice and the work ethic and the good habits we're trying to form in this time, and then you got guys going out there who love football and love to compete, I think you have a chance to be successful. So I think those foundational pieces that may not show up on the wins-loss score, but it definitely adds to the bigger puzzle. So I think if we continue doing those things as we go into this offseason, you're trusting everybody's going to do their job and be ready to come back for camp. And so we can get this thing rolling.
I wish for you, first and foremost, good health to continue building on this remarkable career that you're in the process of writing. And then second, we're all from somewhere and I'm from here. And there are a whole lot of folks like me that have just been waiting to jump back on that bandwagon and see Washington get back to where they've been in the past. You make it real easy to root for, man. Congrats on the success and good luck this year.
I appreciate it, Scott. I'm looking forward to the season. I think you're going to see a great Commanders team this year.
Terry McLaurin.
The show-stopping BMW i4 is electricity in its most powerful form. An impressive range and the power of over 500 horses. BMW, the ultimate electric driving machine. Lease a BMW i4 for $499 per month.
Right.
They just got some free promo up off us.
Yeah. I'm just saying that either way is just a lot of extra. It was just a lot of extra with Terry McLaurin. This is the interview. Hold on. With the Scott Van Pelt interview. Let us finish out with the. Either way, it's just a lot.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's okay.
You know, that was Terry McLaurin saying a lot going on with the Jaden Daniels situation. I mean, in general, and what he saw with Jaden Daniels. And again, he's Terry McLaurin. He's been around these parts the whole time. So, I mean, he is enough. He is big enough to say what he want and what he don't want, and what he see and what he don't see going on in Washington. You know. But again, again, it's a lot. Like he said, like Scott Van Pelt said, a lot of people are excited.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just saying I think we need to tone it down a bit. That's just my take on it.
I don't know, man. I think that it's, you know, you want to have good energy around. You know, you want to have really good energy around. And as long as you have good energy around your team, I think that you can definitely benefit off of that. You know what I mean? You can definitely benefit off of,
So,
you know, just in general, you know?
so let me ask y'all, what is considered a success here? And what's considered a failure for this team since the hype train is so big?
Technically, if you want to really break it down, technically success in the NFL was winning more games than you won last year. So, technically,
No,
if we win 5-6 games, that's more successful. But that's not what I would measure our success as. I think that with the complete overhaul of the team, with a Bobby Wagner in your middle on your defense, you are looking to go to the playoffs. A rookie quarterback in the playoffs like CJ Stroud would be a successful year.
So
despite how ugly it might be to get there. It might be ugly to get there. But if we get there, you can say that that's a successful year.
So again,
okay.
Go ahead.
With the question of if we get there.
You said what?
With the question of who we get there, right? On our schedule outside of the NFC East, who is going to be our problem 1 or 2 games this season for us to get there?
It's a lot of teams. We got a real tough schedule, in my opinion. We got a real tough schedule. Just my opinion. I think we got a pretty tough schedule.
What you think, bro?
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily going to be somebody that's on the schedule. I don't. Again, I rather. I mean, not rather, but I always look at it like what is a success or a successful season is based on basically what you. If for me, it's if you make the playoffs or not. So I don't know if it's a team or a specific team on there or not on there.
All right, so look, so I'm gonna run it down. First game of the season, Buccaneers, 4:25 p.m.
But we already went over the season schedule. We know we already made our predictions there.
But I'm just saying, who you think out of them teams is going to be a problem that was standing out of the way of any team?
All of them. I don't think we have a light skin game on the schedule, in my opinion.
I'm talking about outside out.
I don't think we have a light game on that schedule.
So you don't think
Giants twice. We lost to the 2-8 Giants last year. We lost the Giants when they were 2-8 last year. When we played them in the second game. The first game, I think they was something. No. Yeah, the first they had terrible schedule. First game, I think they was 1-4 and they beat us. And then the second game, they turned around and beat us. And they're not 1-4, maybe like 2-6, something like that. And then they beat us again. And they just had a terrible record. So I don't think we were 4-13 last year. We don't have space to say anybody is sweet. In my opinion.
I agree with that.
I disagree. We so far removed from that team and that whole coaching staff and all of that. That coaching staff is not coaching this shit.
I can agree with that too. I can agree with that.
So you saying Kirk Cousins is going to be a hard game?
But we don't know what this coaching staff is capable of because this is their first year. So they could be worse than the coaching staff from last year.
I don't think so. I don't think you can get no worse than that.
How do we know?
I just don't. I
There's
think
no
you already.
guarantee.
I
What is
think
the
you're at the
guarantee?
rock bottom already.
Right, but what is the guarantee that this regime will be better than last? What guarantee do we have of that?
Oh, I think it's a big guarantee that, like Leo say, even if you win one more, even if you win one more, that regime did better than the last.
Right. But what guarantee that that's going to happen?
Oh, I think it's guaranteed.
Yeah, I don't know about a guarantee. I don't know if we have
I
a
think
guarantee.
so. Y'all ain't guaranteeing more than 3 wins.
We had 4
No.
wins last year.
But y'all ain't guaranteeing more than 4 wins.
We don't know. We don't know.
Man, I ain't.
I'm not gonna guarantee no more than 4. I'm not gonna guarantee. What I will say,
I'm saying it right here live on air. We're gonna whoop them Giants. We're gonna whoop them Bears. We're gonna whoop them Panthers.
The Giants swept us last year. They swept us last year.
I don't care about last year. It's a whole new season. And they ain't got the guy to help sweep us.
Who?
He went to the Eagles.
That's Saquon. Okay.
That was one of the main reasons why they swept us, because of him.
Hey, I don't think he played in the second game.
Yes, he did. He played in both of them.
I'm not sure. I can't say.
Let me check that out.
He played in both of them, brother.
He wasn't a large contributor, I don't believe.
Oh, yes, he was in both.
I don't believe he was a large contributor. Player stats. Saquon Barkley, 14 carries, 83 yards in the first one. I don't know if that's a large contributor. DeVito had 3 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley didn't even score. DeVito was 18 for 26, 246.
Yeah, the man was 5.9 average per carry.
It doesn't matter.
That wasn't that big, bro.
He 3 touchdowns out of DeVito. And you
bro, if he kept getting carries, he was 14 carries for 83 yards.
I don't know. So in the second game, he was 21 carries for 77 yards. What was his average then?
And bro, hold up. You talking about three touchdowns? 2 of them were Saquon's. What are you talking about? 4 receptions for 57 yards. 2 of the touchdowns were Saquon.
Oh, and in the receiving, he caught 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you could say he was a contributor because he scored 2. Okay, we'll flip that. In the second game, he didn't score at all.
Just here's the second game.
21 carries, 77 yards. That's less than 5 yards. That's less than 4 yards a carry. That's about 3 yards a carry, a little bit over 3 yards a carry, maybe 3.6 or something like that.
Okay. You talking about the first? Oh. We skipping games. Hold up, bro. We skipping games. Because in the first one, Saquon was 21 for 77 yards, 3 receptions, 41 yards, and a touchdown. One of the touchdowns that Tyrod Taylor threw. So he's a big contributor in that game. And the second one. What are you talking about, bro?
Hold on. And which one did he score a touchdown?
The first one and the second one.
I don't see no touchdown on here.
Yes, he did, bro. He scored a receiving touchdown. 3 receiving.
Receiving. Oh, yeah, 3 for 41. Okay. Receiving touchdown. Okay, 1 touchdown.
He's a man contributor.
Hold up. Let's go over it. He averaged on the ground. He averaged.
Bro, it doesn't matter what he averaged. He was a big contributor in both of the games.
He averaged 3.7 yards a carry, right? And he scored 1 touchdown. He had 21 carries and averaged 3.7 yards a carry. I don't think you're a big contributor in that game.
Why you not? You only had 3. You only had 3 times you touched the ball through the air and you scored, and you had 41 yards. How you not a big contributor? That's over 100 yards, brother, put together.
Tyrod Taylor, 18 for 29, 279, and 2 touchdowns.
41 of them yards belong to him, and a touchdown belongs to him.
I personally
One of
feel
your-
like the quarterback position is why we won those games, not because of no Saquon.
I mean,
Bruh,
no, when you
Saquon
think
had
about
two
it
of the
though, Saquon
bruh.
Saquon is part of the production. He's part of the game plan. You got to plan
He's
around
the
him.
big
So
part of the factor that they won
I
them
don't think
games,
yeah,
bruh.
he was just a part.
Oh my God.
I don't think it moves the needle. Him not being there, we're all of a sudden.
All right, watch. You gonna see. You gonna see.
yeah.
They beat us without Saquon several times.
Well, what I'm saying is he was a heavy contributor last year.
Yeah, Saquon normally be killing us though. I will say that he always score a touchdown on us and some more stuff. So
All right. I don't think we have a light game on the schedule. Let me just say that. I don't think we have. We haven't swept the Giants. When was the
I'm
last
not.
time?
I never said it's like I said. Do y'all think we will be able to beat these teams? I never
yeah,
said
I
it's gonna
mean,
be like.
we could beat. I think we could beat any team on the schedule. Yeah, but do I
I
think
don't think we could beat any team on the schedule. I'm
who
not
can't we
sure.
beat?
I'm not sure we could beat those Pittsburgh Steelers late in the season like that. That's going to be a tough one.
I am.
Tough one. I'm not sure that we could beat the Baltimore Ravens either. That's another one that's going to be a tough one. I'm not sure we can ultimately beat the Baltimore Ravens. Not like that. The way y'all saying, that's going to be another tough one.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's gonna be a tough one.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I feel, is a tough game. I don't depend. They switched up some stuff, but I still think that's a tough game to go in Tampa
That's a
Bay.
tough game out the gate, man. You can't
That's a tough game.
take Baker Mayfield lightly.
So I just think we do have tough games on the schedule. But when you're coming from 4-13, this is what I mean by overconfidence. We got Uptown Vito in the building. So we just was talking about the upcoming schedule. Is the Washington faithful too overconfident in what's going on in Washington right now?
No. I'm gonna be the first to say that that was one of the questions that I did ask, and I am one of the first to say that I am a little humbled about my approach this year, but I am also very excited, and I think I can stand on feeling the confidence in the aura in the building. This Jaden Daniels kid is special. It is just media, and I don't think it's media hype. I think it's just media covering what is happening. This kid is doing really, really, really well. He's way ahead of all of the rookies in the class right now, and to me, that says a lot. I didn't even hear that type of conversation about RG3 when he was here in his first year.
We didn't hear anything, bro. We didn't hear anything. Them dudes disappeared in the preseason. RG3 only had like 3. Sorry to cut you off. My bad, Vito.
No problem.
Yeah, but we didn't hear anything out of them guys. Remember, he disappeared. Once we drafted RG3, he went and disappeared until it was time, until New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. So, and maybe that was the way that the Shanahan's wanted to do it, And again, there's a lot of reason to have the media surround what's going on in Washington right now. But I'll say that because of that, where I was weary and I am very, very hard on how our media handles certain things, I also think that gives me extra confidence about Jaden Daniels as well because he's handled it as if he's used to the scene. It's like he's used to the cameras being on. So this is I feel like this is not a forced way. I think this is his way, and the cameras are just happening to capture something that's natural for him, which is hard to get a young kid to come in and be that motivated and be that focused in just doing that. A lot of kids, you got the interviews, you got everything to do outside of football, and you can get caught up in all of that. You're getting paid now to be an athlete, and maybe the same amount of money or far more money than what you were getting in college. You have endorsements, you got sponsorships, this A, B, and C, blah, blah, blah. And this kid is so hyper focused on football right now that it is spilling over to everybody, bro. It's spilling over to the defensive side. It's spilling over to the offensive side. It's spilling over to how coaches are talking about him. It's spilling over to how other analysts and other coaches or other players or ex-players are talking about him around the league, and that is something that's a very bright spot for me. He's not the only player on the team, but that being the leader is a very important part. I think this team has not had a commanding leader at that spot since Alex Smith, but I think because Alex Smith had so many teams prior, not that it takes away his leadership under the helm, you don't have that franchise face, and he also got hurt so early on before we were able to grasp on to that part of his leadership as far as being a quarterback in the league. And you just had so many changes at that spot that this is what the team and the franchise has been waiting for. And for him to be this prepared to start out, at least just to show his effort in being prepared, is a really good sign. This year and this season, is it overhyped or is the Redskin faithful a little too quick? I don't think so. I think that you have to assume that this regime is going to be better than 4-13, regardless of what the schedule is. Teams that had the same records, I mean, had good records last year, are all not going to have the same records this year. If anything, this may be very similar to the Ron Rivera year, in my opinion, where everybody in the division had a tough year, and we can come out on top because we just so happen to be able to beat the teams in the division this year in comparison to years prior. So I don't. If we go 7-9 or 7-10 and get to the playoffs, excuse me, 7-10 or 8-9 and get to the playoffs, and the rest of the teams in the division, or one more team or two more teams in the division are bad, and one more team is good. I don't think that this is like the improvement that we were all waiting for. But again, I think that the playoffs is something that the fan base that we needed. We need it. And to me, this team on paper and on the field would automatically be, well, excuse me, not automatically, I take that back, would be at least projected to be better than the Heineke playoff team going into that first season with Chase.
Well, let me ask you this, right? Let's say we go into Tampa Bay week 1, we lose 35-10. Does that hurt? Will that knock the dust out of this super confidence that we had that he's doing great? Let's say he throw 3 picks in that game. Is that too much to come back from?
No, one that would say that Tampa Bay is a force to be reckoned with and maybe looking at going to the Super Bowl this year if they ever scored 35-10 on us like that with Baker Mayfield. And that would be me just saying that they did some heck of adjustments on the offensive side and went crazy. I don't see Bobby Wagner defense giving up 35 points in week 1 or a Dan Quinn defense giving up that much, just being that unprepared. I don't see that. It's too much excitement.
Well,
but if that's the scenario you want to give,
no, the Packers dropped 35 on them in the playoffs, easy. In the first half, I believe, or close to it.
That's the playoffs, and Mike McCarthy was horrible in play calling that game as well. You have also said yourself during games where Rivera and Del Rio were doing good jobs on the defensive side, and the offense did not give them any chance. So they were forced to give up some points because they're always on the field. That game, Dallas defense was featured on the field because their offense was horrible, and the Packers were just good on all sides of the football. LaFleur is a very good coach, and it's the playoffs.
Hold up. So you're not blaming Quinn at all for what happened in the playoffs?
I'm not
absolving him?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. But I also hold on. It's the playoffs. You have to give credit to the staff that was prepared best in that situation. You also had a Michael Parsons who's no longer used at the position that you initially had him at because you had to create one for them to create pressure. The Cowboys, who were the year prior to that, way better at creating pressure and did not have Parsons at defensive end for 75% of the season, had to change his role because they weren't getting pressure. So they gave Jordan Love an exuberant amount of time to do what he was able to do, and he had success at it. The following week when he did not have that same amount of time, he was almost close to doing it, but those things they changed up his approach. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the same numbers when he was not given as much time. Parsons is a really good player, and he's again the sacks and all of that are good, but he's a middle linebacker slash outside linebacker. He has to be there to be as effective as you need him on a whole team and not just a one trick pony, in my opinion. Again, that's Dan Quinn's defense in that regard. Bland is not Trayvon Diggs. You don't have one of your better cornerbacks, Stephon Gilmore, who's a veteran, was getting toasted that game. You don't expect that to happen on a week in and week out basis. But those are the things that happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't give them any excuse for. First of all, they're the Cowboys, so I enjoyed every bit of the whooping. You know I did,
Right.
right? So I don't give them any excuse to that. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say that again, that's not a game during the regular season. That's a more important game than the regular season. But Dan Quinn doesn't start the regular season like that. I don't think he has the week one game where they were trashed like that, especially with a team full of defenders that he's been able to select like this. I think this is the first time that he's been able to kind of handpick the entire roster off the break in comparison to, picking up some teams and having to fill in some players with the draft and maybe one free agent here and there.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me see, Point. What do you feel? First game, Washington lose 35-10 in Tampa Bay. Jaden Daniels throws 3 interceptions. Will that knock the smoke out of this team out of the gate?
Realistically, no. I mean, like, what do you
Can they come
do? You
back from
expect the
that?
rookie?
Will that result in a 0-4 start, 0-5 start?
0-4 and 0-5 start might be a little bit of it might be different. But I mean, if he has a bad game, his first game in the NFL, nobody's going to really be like killing him over it. You know what I mean? But 3 or 4 games in a row, that might
I
be
don't
something
think he's
different.
gonna be killed, especially around here after all this hype.
No,
Right,
not after
right.
one bad game. No.
Oh man, I totally disagree with that.
Howell was praised that he had 21
We started out
interceptions.
2-0 though with Sam Howell, so
Yeah,
that's where that's why the praise was happening.
okay,
Yeah,
and so
but
what?
realistically, he would have to have 3 get bad games before people started, and it would have to be his fault. You know what I mean? It couldn't be 3 games where we didn't win, where it's not glaringly his fault.
I totally disagree with that. I think that you got a lot of people who, like, to Vito's point, where he just brought up Sam Howell. You got a lot of people who didn't want Jaden drafted, don't want Jaden drafted. Didn't want Jaden Daniels drafted. That's quite the tongue twister. Didn't want Jaden Daniels drafted, right? And you had a whole bunch of people who did not want that. So you don't think the Boo Birds are gonna come out doing
Yeah,
those?
but
I mean,
they gonna come out
it's plenty of
regardless.
people who don't like the Washington Commanders. It's plenty of people who don't like the Commanders. There's plenty of people that like the Commanders that don't like the Commanders. So I mean, there's gonna be people that's gonna make noise regardless. And guess what? This world is made up of people making money off of making noise. So noise is gonna be generated regardless if he has a 5-game winning streak to start the season off and then loses 7 straight, or has a 7-game in a row winning streak and then loses 3 straight. The 3 straight is gonna add noise regardless. What I'm
Yeah,
saying is that he's a NFL rookie. And in order for us to lose 35-10 to the Tampa Bay Bucks, who barely score that many points on a consistent basis, not saying anything is impossible for them to do that, because every dog has his day. But for them to do that on week one against us would mean that it's not just Jaden's fault. It'd be everybody in the building's fault. Would it knock off the smoke? No, it would go to show that the culture here has not changed for some reason. You can't change a culture in one week. You can start to change it the way that they have approached it, and I think that their approach is going to lead to the example not being 35-10. As I say, even if they lose, it's going to be in a different way, in a competitive way, in a way of showing that those guys are out there battling for each other and trying to make something happen. think that the way that they've described the offense, you know what I'm saying, in Terry's interview, I think the way that they've described the offense when McCaffrey did his interview, I think these guys are going to move the ball, and I think they expect to score. They expect to make plays and stuff like that. So if we lost 35-10, then we've missed some big plays and some things that we should have got to happen didn't happen. Other than that, I can't see that happening. Not with the Bills. But again, I'm not going to say it's impossible because anything is possible. But again, I think that if that were to happen, I think people would more be on Tampa Bay being on fire than Washington not being able to get it done.
I don't know though. I don't know, man. I don't know because I just think that it's a story, especially the Cowboy fans. Y'all know we do this every week with the Cowboy fans. Did they win or did we win? I mean, even in losing seasons, we go back and forth with the Cowboys like that week for week.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's noise. Like noise is gonna be had all year. Like you're gonna have that. That's what I'm saying. If we start off, if we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 35-10, it's still gonna be people that's gonna say, yeah, Jaden Daniels didn't even do that good. He could throw 3 touchdowns and no interceptions and be 12 for 29.
I doubt it. I think the noise will be a lot
Did you hear
lower.
the numbers that I said? I said 12 for 29. He could be 12 for 29 and 3 touchdowns. Those are not good passing
No,
numbers.
not 29, right?
Yeah, but again, but we could still win 35-10. He had 12 for 29, 3 touchdowns, maybe a pick, maybe not a pick. You're still gonna have somebody assessing his numbers and saying that something that he did wasn't right. He's going to have a Stroud season for everybody to be quiet and be like he's the man. Other than that, it's gonna be somebody that's gonna make noise, bro.
When did RG3 become a star in Washington?
You said when did he become a star?
When did he become a star in Washington?
Once you start seeing the offense work, like I think it was
After the bye week.
I don't even think it's superstar after the bye week. Like just a star on the team.
Well, I'll say the Minnesota game.
Nah, that was late. He still was already. I think that Minnesota game was like you already expected a big play to happen.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I feel. I think he became a star week 1 in New Orleans when they went in there and won 40. They put up 40 in New Orleans after New Orleans came off a 13-3 season the year before. That's where I feel like he became a star. All eyes week 1 is going to be on Washington and what we're doing. Y'all realize that, right?
Yeah, nobody like that's what I'm saying. You said it like we're supposed to be scared.
like we're supposed to be scared. I never said that.
No, I just said you said it like that. It just kind of sounded like you're a little nervous.
No, if all the eyes are on us and we flop, and y'all say it just doesn't affect anything, there will be no momentum, no lag, no anything on that first week. I can't agree with that.
No, I mean, bro, I'm saying that you're gonna get that whether we win or lose. It don't make a difference what happens. If we won 40-0, you're gonna have people that's gonna come out and say that the Redskins are still trash. They're still the same team. Tampa Bay was just bad.
I disagree.
What? Okay. All right. All right. There are going to be people that are literally going to say that y'all just played Tampa Bay. If you just said that it's Cowboy fans that check to see if we win, who won and who lost, I'm telling you now, especially because I know mostly Cowboy fans, they're going to say y'all just played Tampa Bay, especially if the Cowboys play somebody that went to the playoffs last year.
I don't know if I can agree with that. I think they'll be scared. If we go 40-0 that first game, I believe that the rest of the league will take notice immediately, and we will become the number 1 ticket on everybody's board.
It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, bro. It's cover 2 defense, bro. It's not rocket science, bro. Like if you can get to the seams before the safeties can figure out, and he has good eyes. So if you can get to the seams and beat the seams, bro, if your tight end can work the seams, you can have a good game against the Bucs, bro. It's not rocket science against the Bucs. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not really sure if the Bucs are a testament to seeing if you can run the ball. especially that early in the season. If you can run the ball on the Buccaneers, then you'll say, all right, maybe we might got something going because that's a really good run stopping team. And the basis of their defense is to stop the run. You stop the short pass, make them try to go deep, you get safety help, and they got to try to beat the seams. If your young quarterback can beat the seams, it's going to show that he's going to be able to fit some passes into tight windows later on in the year. You know what I'm saying? With that particular defense that they got going on right there. You got the Giants. No, not the Giants. You got the Ravens week 2, or is that the Bengals?
I would have to hold on. Let me look at the schedule. I don't have it up. Pull it up. Let me say this. I'm gonna tell you what my take is.
I got the schedule.
Okay, put it up. My take, who we got week 2, but my take is this, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think if we lose week 1, that we are in trouble. I think we in trouble if we lose week 1. I think that's the
All right,
most
so Tampa. So it's Tampa. Next week is the Giants.
They could beat the
At
Giants.
1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock. But look though.
How you gonna say that, bro? And we haven't beat them. How is it that we can beat a team that we haven't beaten?
No, I said we can beat the Giants because it's a division game.
Why does everybody keep saying
it's a division
that?
game, and I feel like if you can win, you can win against a division.
Hey, Big Sam, can you tell me last time we beat them? And is that that's at home? We'll be.
I think it's been like 3 years.
I didn't say that was an automatic window, Vito.
But remember what I said though, Ro. Remember what I said? I said I felt the reason that we could beat them, if any, is because they don't have Saquon no more, and Saquon was a big part of them beating us last year in both games.
That's what you said. That's exactly what you said.
You know, so if any reason, that would be the reason. Saquon ain't there no more. But they do got, I was just thinking about it, they do got Singletary. Didn't they pick up Singletary? I believe they picked him up. Let me check that out.
Yeah, they did pick up Singletary. Yes, they did. That's exactly what they got with Singletary.
You know, so they picked up a replacement. I mean,
he's good.
Singletary,
he's not a slouch. He's good.
He's not a Saquon, but he a Singletary, and he's pretty good.
He's been further success-wise.
Hey, Big Son. Hey, Big Son.
Yeah.
Big Son. Saquon Barkley, October 22nd, 2023. 77 rushing yards, 21 attempts, 3.7 yards.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not really didn't really do nothing.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Hold on, go back.
That's
hold
what
on.
I said. That's what
hold
I said.
on. Vito, keep reading. Keep reading.
What, the receiving touchdown?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what beat us.
Yeah.
That was a 14-7 game. That's what beat us. And he did it again. And he did it again the next time they played us. He not only did it on the ground, he did it in the air too. But he didn't just have one touchdown, he had 2.
He had 2 touchdowns, but he didn't have any rushing touchdowns at all.
But he had 83 yards though, bro, on 14 carries.
That was good. That game was a good game. The first game wasn't good, Big Son.
But he was the result of the win.
Running the ball.
Not running the ball, but he was the result of the win regardless. He did it on the ground and in the air.
The defense held us to 7 points. So I felt like it was the Giants' defense.
And Darren Waller
had the Giants' defense.
Yeah, they held us to 7 points the whole game.
He scored the touchdown to win the game, bro.
Sam Howell was your starting quarterback, and they had DeVito and Tyrod Taylor. All right, those 2 passes was from DeVito too. That Saquon caught.
DeVito lit us up. us up. He had 3 touchdowns.
What I'm saying though, it was Saquon.
Over 250 yards.
I'm not getting away from them doing them, but I'm saying Saquon was a part of that havoc. And he was a big part of it in the second game. because he had 2 of the touchdowns.
I'm just saying Tampa Bay is an easier team to beat than the Giants is, if you ask me.
I think we're gonna be ready to stick it to the Giants.
I think you lunching. I think you lunching on that one.
I think we finally gonna be ready to stick it to the
I
Giants.
ain't going that far.
I bet we've beat the Bucks more times than we beat the Giants.
We beat the Bucks in 2022. The Tom Brady. Last time Taylor Heineke in the rematch with Tom Brady, Taylor Heineke beat Tom Brady. That was the last time we beat them.
Mm-hmm. And when the last time you beat the Giants, my brother?
About 3 years.
Taylor Heineke is the last season. That same season, we beat the Giants early in that season. Taylor Heineke beat the Giants. 32. I think he had a lot. He lit it up against the Giants that time. Taylor Heineke had the Giants number for real.
No, I don't think we beat them with Taylor. That was a game we got cheated.
2022.
That was a game we got cheated.
Nah, 2022, not 2023. 2020.
2022 was when we got cheated. We didn't beat them in 2023.
2021 then. I'm talking about 2021 then. That's when we beat them.
Nah, I got to see them.
I'm about to give you the game. I know that for a fact. That's not a speculation for me. I know that. When we was Washington football team, I believe, that season. No, that was the
last time we won.
The first Commander. 2021. That's what I said. 29-30. We beat them 29-30. Taylor Heineke had 336. 30 feet was 34 for 46, 336, two touchdowns and 1 interception. McLaurin had 11 receptions for 107 yards in that game.
Okay.
Taylor Heineke was the one that beat him.
Hey Vito.
No hype. Yeah. No hype.
Hey Vito, can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Was 5 drops real bad for Jahan Dotson out of all of that last year that we thought he dropped?
It says 5 drops. It felt like more. But no, it's not bad when you look at the total number, but I don't think he had a good season last year.
Yeah, I think he was overthrown a lot as well. As we see by the numbers. I mean,
when you got
hold on. He had 83 targets, right? He dropped 5 of them. So what the hell happened to the rest of them? They sold out the stadium?
I think when you were sacked 65 times.
No. If we're not giving, hold on. If we're not giving Jahan Dotson no leeway, ain't no damn way I'm giving Sam Howell no leeway.
I can't agree with that.
No.
65 sacks is a lot of sacks, bro.
Hey, maybe you should have took some extra reps out of practice. Maybe you should have took some extra reps.
Huh? What is extra reps? What you getting sacked?
Huh? To guess what? Know how that pressure coming. Take some extra reps.
You got a tackle who's getting juked and ain't even getting a hand on this player.
You know how bad your line is. You should have been looking to be sacked.
I don't know. I can't agree with that.
That line was horrible.
Wiley was getting juked. Vito, you remember the play? Wiley got juked and didn't even get a hand on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wiley's bad.
You talking about the Miami joint. You talking about the Miami joint.
Buffalo. I believe it was Buffalo. It might have been Miami.
It was the Miami joint.
He got head faked. The dude faked, turned his head one way. Wiley looked the other way. He ran right past him. Got the sack.
So Sam Howell get a bailout and John don't.
It's not I don't know if I call it a bailout.
It is a bailout, bro. It is a bailout. That man threw 20-something picks. He overthrew like 80 balls or maybe more. I don't know. Maybe more.
Didn't give Dwayne Haskins those same breaks.
Nope, sure didn't.
Dwayne Haskins wasn't sacked 5 times.
He wasn't even in the game that much.
But his overthrows got over talked about.
I don't know. I'm not giving no passes. I just feel like any quarterback with that amount of pressure is just not, I'm not sure what you expect out of that. That's just, my take. 65 sacks is a lot, man. It's a lot. It's not as much as the Giants 85.
I'm about to say the Giants had 82,
And guess what?
85,
They
something
won.
like
They
that.
won. And guess what? They still won more games than us. What does that say?
Quarterback.
No, I mean you were tanking. You had the worst defense in the history of your team. You had the worst offensive line in the history of your team as well. So that's not a good recipe for winning. Regardless of what Sam Howell or anybody else does. The worst defense and the worst offensive line, bad defense and bad offensive line don't mix.
I agree. Totally.
But let me go to this. Since we're talking about success and a team success, I'm going to pull up the take. It's a take from a guy, right? And I'm going to pull his take up because this take is making a lot of noise. And then I'm going to pull up something else.
All right, y'all. It's major.
In regards to this. I'm going to pull up this take. This is where it's about to get ugly here. This is where
It's major. Y'all know how we doing major Mondays. We cutthroat.
Yeah, it's about to get ugly. I'm going to pull up this take by this guy named Trotter. John Trotter. I believe that's his name. And let's pull this up. Let me pull this take up. By a guy named, I believe his name is Trotter. I know his last name is Trotter. Totta. And let me get him up. I mean Crotta. Okay. So let me get this on the screen for a second so that we could walk through this because there's definitely something to walk through here on the Nature Sports Podcast. Let's get Vito back up. It's definitely a little something to walk through. This might get a little ugly for the other not podcasters, but for the other DC media because we'll just say y'all are doing a lot right now. And maybe we have this all wrong about the DC media. Maybe it's us. Maybe it's us. So let's pull this up for a second. Oh, yeah, we got the advertisement there. That's not our advertisement. You got Dan Quinn. Okay, right here. Let's get this up. Let me see if this is up on the screen. Okay, yeah. So you can see a little bit of it, I believe. Yeah, okay. See a little bit of it. All right. So it says right here, a writer. This is on Microsoft right here. This is Microsoft, MSN, Microsoft. A writer covering the Dallas Cowboys went on the record Friday stating he believes one Dan Quinn signing might be already a flop.
I promise I said, yeah, you probably did.
Jerry Trotter, who writes for the Landry Hat, asserted that the new Commanders head coach overspent on a pair of Cowboys free agents, Dorrance Armstrong and Tyler Biadasz, and signed a 33-year-old tight end in Zach Ertz, who's played only 17 games in the last 2 seasons. And he said he actually admits that he has concern regarding Ertz, not knowing what he might be able to contribute to Washington in 2024. It says Trotter continued to a step further by saying any of these moves could blow up in Quinn's face, but there is one marquee signing that already looks like a flop, and that's running back Austin Eckler. He said Eckler appears to be appeared on the Up and Adams show with Kate Adams, stating that the Chargers were going in a different direction, deciding to sign a bigger running back. So that's why Eckler signed with Washington, and that is a sign that Eckler is no good, according to the Jerry Trotter guy. I want to ask you guys. He says basically that Quinn signed. We overpaid for Armstrong, and we overpaid for Biadasz. What do y'all think about this guy Jerry Trotter's take? And then we'll go a little bit more into Trotter afterwards. But what do you think so far about Trotter's take?
I think Trout need to shut the hell up. Honestly, like you don't know nothing about what you're talking about, homeboy, because Biadasz, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he a Pro Bowler? Think what two out of his 3 years or something like that. Armstrong was the second in sacks in that system, and
Yeah,
he didn't start. He did not start. Like, what are you talking about, boy? How old is this boy, bro? He got to be a young man.
oh no, he's young. He's 21, but we'll get into that later. I just want to
Man, that's crazy, but I
hear
don't
y'all
think he know
takes.
anything about what he's talking about. He need to shut the hell up and sit back and listen before you speak. You know, sometimes it's better it's better to listen than talk. You can learn a lot when you listen. I learned that a long time ago. That's why I'm quiet a lot on the show. And when I talk, I really say something. I don't just talk out the side of my neck. You know what I'm saying? That boy needs to shut the hell up. Because my thing is going in a different direction. That's like, you know, what we were talking about earlier. The 49ers might have to go in a different direction with what's the boy name? Brandon Ayuk. They might have to go in a different direction. So if you got to go in a different direction because you about to do something different, doesn't mean that the player ain't no good no more. You just don't think he fit what you're trying to do anymore. In my eyes.
Right. So is this? I mean, what? Let's send it around the room. What do the other guys think about Jerry's take? Did we overpay for Biadasz? Did we overpay for Biadasz? Did we overpay for Armstrong? And was Eckler a bad signing? Let's send it around the room. Let's get everybody take.
Nah, I don't think we overpaid for Beyonce or I mean, doing Armstrong maybe a little bit, but not Beyonce. I mean, realistically, you got to think about, you know, what do you need team wise, and if Beyonce is going to be the leader of your, if he's going to be the leader of your team, if he's going to be the leader, if he's going to be the leader of, you know, your offensive line, and what I mean by team is, you know, offensive line. That's going to be the guy that protects your quarterback. That's going to be the guy that helps the protection in the quarterback, you know? So I don't think it's over. I don't think it's overpaid for that. But at the same time, I think it was going to be expensive like that. It's going to be pretty expensive. And so you got, for somebody like that, you got to pay top dollar. Dorrance Armstrong maybe might have overpaid a little bit, but Austin Eckler is probably one of the best pass catching backs in the league. So we didn't really pay him a whole bunch. I think we did really good with the salary cap in this offseason. So I don't know what this young dude talking about.
What you got, Vito? What you got on that? Did we overpay?
He not showing on my jump.
Okay. So you say we didn't overpay. Both of y'all say we didn't overpay.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we overpaid.
Oh, we got Vito back up.
For Armstrong, yes. For
Did we
Beyonce, no.
overpay? Did we overpay for Armstrong? Did we overpay for Biadasz? If we got Vito up, I wanted to get y'all take before I move to the second point of this because it's very important, right?
No, we can't hear none, Vito.
It's very important. So we're gonna wait till we get Vito up, and I'm gonna give my take straight quick. It's a possibility we could have overpaid for Armstrong. Again, my concern is that Armstrong. My main concern with Armstrong is that, and then we got Vito back up. Let's see what we can do. All right, we got you, Vito. We got you back up. We're not getting nothing from you. My main concern with Armstrong is that it could have been like a Micah Parsons, because Micah Parsons got double and triple more than anybody in the league. Could be a trickle over sort of thing. It could be a trickle over sort of thing because he was getting doubled and tripled. That left Armstrong, like with my man. What's your man last year? Your defensive player of the year last year, Big Son. Who's your defensive player? What happened when he got to that starting role?
That's when he got the money. That's where he ate at.
No, he didn't.
He had 3.
He didn't have any sacks. When Sweat and Young left, he didn't get another sack.
That's when he got the sacks. When
So
they left.
He got it while Sweat and
He got
Young.
a couple when they was here.
He had it when they was here.
left.
He got them when they was here, not when they left. He didn't have any sacks when they left. Not one.
I got to pull that up.
Pull it up. I know that for a fact. Only person who had a sack after they left was KJ Henry.
So who else had the sacks then?
It wasn't none. It was 2 sacks the whole year after Sweat and Young left. 2 or 3 sacks the whole year. I think Cameron Curl might have had one after that. But it was only KJ Henry, I know, was the only one on the line who got a sack. Payne didn't have any. Allen didn't have any. Toohill didn't have any. Only one what's his name? The big guy with the dreads, John Pierre Francis, whatever his name, he didn't have any. The only one that had sack was KJ Henry, and I think Cameron Curl might have got one. So that's what I think. That's the chance of happening with Doris Armstrong. I think that's the chance of happening. They got a chance of happening with Doris Armstrong. That's my fear, at least, when it comes to him. We got Vito back up. Get you back in, Vito. Still ain't got Vito. Still ain't got an audio.
What game were they were gone after the Eagles game, right?
They left after the second Eagles game. Yes. Yeah. So
I don't.
Where? What game?
The Giants game.
Okay. Was the Giants game after that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. He had one. One. All right, now let me look at now. This is his game log. Just since we on KC2 Hill,
I'm looking at it.
KC2 Hill had 1 sack against the Giants. That's the early in the season. The second, oh no. Let me see. Sacks. No, he had it in the first Giants game. Oh yeah, he had 2 in Atlanta, 2 against Atlanta. Oh yeah, he did have it in the second Giants game. Yes, he did. You're right. He had it in the second Giants game. Okay, but he had 2 against Atlanta, 1 against Denver, 1 against Philly, and then another one against Philly, 2 against Atlanta, and then 1 against Denver. So he had 4 sacks with them on the field, and then 1 when they left. So you get what I'm saying now? Numbers don't lie, right?
Yeah, he didn't play the Cowboys or the Jets game.
So that's what I'm saying. Numbers don't lie, man. So that's what I'm about fear with Dorrance Armstrong, is that you do got a guy who played one way when the other guys was in there starting, and then when he became a starter, you didn't get the same production.
I don't think Dorrance Armstrong is the same player as Toohill, though.
I'm just using him as an example.
That's all I'm saying. And And what's the name? He got a system around him that possibly is gonna call for double teams at times.
You know who I think the X factor is going to be on our defense, who might end up being the best player on our defense. Not to make, I think our best player on our defense is Dirk Forrest. I still believe that. I mean, I'm a Forrest fan. I mean, and even when listening to our games from last year, specifically the Bears game, Forrest got hurt, but we even called during the game, even in this Vito, you specifically, Vito, I wish he was on again. You specifically was, man, Forrest is having a great game. We called it. One thing about it is I won't go look at the reviews of the writers. I go back and look at our games and listen to our games because I know we really go through things. And so I'll go back and listen to our game and see what we had to say about a guy during the game. And we call out guys who are having good games. We call out guys who are having bad games. So for me, I feel like Dirk Force is the best player on our defense. And that goes for Payne and Allen, too. No offense to them guys. I feel like Derek Force is the biggest playmaker we got. And I believe during the season, it'll stand tall. If he can stay healthy, though. He do have a problem.
Did you say it because you really meant it, or did you say it because it was the politically correct thing to do?
I think we got Vito back.
I meant it with all my heart.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. We got Vito back. Okay, Vito. Did we overpay for Armstrong? And did we overpay
I would have done the same thing.
for Biotti?
Sure.
No, I don't think you overpaid for Biotti is because you needed a center in the building. Haven't had a center to me since Roulier. And you needed a center in the building, and you got one of the division's best centers, number one, especially since Kelsey is retiring. So basically the division's best center, and he's a former Pro Bowler. So you upgraded, in that at that position. Armstrong, you needed a pass rusher because you don't have Sweater Young. And the other defensive ends that were signed at that position got way more money. And they were better pass rushers, but for the production that Armstrong was able to give you, I think you paid a pretty steep price for that, but you didn't overpay in comparison to what you would have paid for a Reddick or something like that.
Zach Ertz has played 17 games in the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Can we depend on him? Is that a bust signing?
No, I don't believe so because you have a on-field teacher for your rookie, and you have a player who has not played a lot of football in 2 years, which means that he should still have some more in the tank.
Is Austin Eckler going to be a bust?
I don't think so when I'm looking at Eckler being a upgrade from a McKissick. Like if I'm looking at the same player that McKissick was or Chris Thompson, I'm looking at an upgrade from a McKissick. He's a better pass blocker, and he's a better runner in between. He's just as good as an in between the tackle runner as McKissick. I actually like McKissick.
I like McKissick.
And I think Eckler is Eckler is a lot stronger, to be honest. He's a lot stronger of a player. So I think he's better. Like he's NFL. He doesn't look NFL body ready, but he's similar to Darren Sproles as far as being able to handle the licks of the NFC East, I believe. The fumbling.
Was it a red flag though? Let me ask you this: was it a red flag for the Chargers to say because we don't feel you can carry the ball 300 times a season that hey, you might not be a good fit for us? Was the Chargers parting ways with Eckler a red flag?
No, running backs don't get nearly as much respect as they should, as they used to. I mean, as they once did. Excuse me. So, in my opinion, you could say that today, but I don't really think so. I think more so that was a change in command over there. Also, what they were looking for help for Herbert, I think they just were starting to try to find blame other than putting maybe some of it on maybe he's not as healthy as they'd like him to be to move forward on that star quarterback thing. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay, so you think this guy is biased?
I think this
Okay, I
guy
gotta
just
keep it
has
back.
an opinion.
Did,
This guy is what the example that I was trying to give you when we were talking earlier, when I was saying that Washington's going to have noise. It's going to be noise regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like someone's going to find, like there's news, like the person basically playing this angle for this guy is a way for him to have something to do. It gives him content by having this angle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it's a right or wrong angle. He's entitled to his opinion, but it gives him an angle to view this at by saying those things. But my question would be, who else do you sign? You can sign, and anybody that you pick is going to be based on what? It's going to be based on the NFL minds. I mean, not a mind, but is it going to be based on a GM making this decision prior that you can give a layout on how this would have worked? Do you know what we would have paid them? Do you know how we would have managed the budget? It's so many other questions that could have gone into it. And I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm just saying that there could have been so many more questions to have gone into the process and things of that nature of how we did things. I think we all had a specified player here or there that we would have taken in the draft, in free agency, that we were wondering why they didn't go after. Cornerbacks, for instance, for some of us, the offensive linemen for you, for myself, like things that we would have asked for those guys to look for that they didn't go after. And I'm still pleased with the overall job that they've done so far in the offseason. So again, me disagreeing with this guy doesn't mean that he's wrong. It just means that he has an opinion. My personal take on it is that he really is just trying to find a story out of something, and maybe it's just his start. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's where he gets his crowd from. Is just being, the devil's advocate, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, these are questions that are concerns. Again, we have our concerns with Josh Hurts being the owner, and how he's running the team or how he's able to, manage this situation in comparison to what he's done with the 76ers. So we all have opinions, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But I think that, the more research that you do and the more evidence you have to back your arguments would be more where I would say, okay, this guy has a point. You have to give me a little bit more to back his argument.
okay, let me say this. He said that what Austin Eckler said was ludicrous when he gave the reason why he wasn't playing for the Chargers anymore was that they decided that they wanted a guy who can carry the ball 300 times a year. Do you think he was being truthful?
Why
that was the red flag. The guy said that was the red flag, the fact that he had to lie, or he felt like that was just a crazy reason.
Okay, well, I'm a nitpicker, so on the nature show, this is what I'll do is I'll pull up Austin Eckler's numbers, his stats for the Chargers. And Austin Eckler has never carried the ball more than 206 times in one season.
Right.
And he's only missed 8 games as a starter in 1, 2, 3, 4, in 5 years. So he's never been a 300 carry a year guy. To me, that means that he has good wheels. He's not beat up. His body's not banged up. Again, he's only missed 8 games in his starting professional career. The first 2 seasons that he played, he didn't start, but he played in most of those games. In the first 2 seasons, in the first 3 seasons, he didn't start. The first 2 seasons, he didn't get a lot of. He only got 47 carries his first year, 2 touchdowns, 260 yards. Second year was 106 carries, 554 yards, 3 touchdowns. But he played 14 games, only started 3. His third year, he started 8 games out of 16. He had 132 carries, 557 yards, 3 touchdowns. These are not reception yards, but if I'm gonna add the reception yards, the first year with that 47 carries, he had 27 catches, 279, 3 touchdowns. The second year with that 554, he had 39 catches, 404 yards, 3 touchdowns. But the third year that he didn't start all of the games, but he started 8 of the 16 games, had 132 attempts, 557 yards, 3 touchdowns. But on the receiving end, he had 92 catches for 993 yards and 8 touchdowns. His fourth year, which is his first starting season, 10 games started. He missed 6 games that season. He had 116 attempts, 530 yards, 1 touchdown, but he had 54 catches for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. And again, maybe it would have been on an attempt to get a little bit more than that, but he got injured. The next season, which is his 6th year, 6th year, 16 games, started 16 games, 206 attempts, 911 yards, 12 touchdowns, 70 catches for 647 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Okay, let me stop you. Got you right. Okay, so it seems to be out of merit that statement was made by Trotter, right? So let's dive a little bit into Trotter.
You said that was made out of what do you mean by merit? So I'm understanding.
So basically, he said that Austin Eckler saying that was ludicrous. That's the words he said.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you feel so?
Huh?
Do you feel like that's the case?
No, I mean we just read through his numbers, and it seemed to be a little accurate. I mean, based on numbers, right. It seems to be like you said. He's never done X, Y, and Z. Right. He hasn't, so it can't be that ludicrous, Can't be that ludicrous. So what we'll do right now is pull up a Mr. Trotter and see what we dealing with. And I pulled them up because again, I like to know and put a face to these people reporting. And what we gonna do, I'm gonna pull up what I have. And this is gonna be very interesting for a number of reasons. Okay, so let's go to Trotter's Twitter first. Let's go to his Twitter first. This is Trotter's Twitter right here. And I'm gonna tell you what, this is the first place I went. And when you go to his Twitter, you see the Cowboy right here. So I'm like, oh, he's a Cowboy fan. I see why his take might be that he's basically said that Dan Quinn is not going to be what we think he is, right? I get it. You're a Cowboy fan. So that's what you would think. But I'm gonna tell you what struck me as odd. This was reported by pretty much everybody across the spectrum of sports. Meaning sports. So it was on NBC. That was what I just read was from MSN, Microsoft Network. So you got Microsoft, Yahoo reported this. And it's just been reported. Rigo's Rag is where it came from, though, right? And so I'm like, well, why is this guy who only has 632 followers? I'm trying to figure out who's a Cowboy fan, apparently. Why does what he say matter? Right? And so when I dug a little bit deeper into it, I said, okay. I pulled up his, and we'll go right on over here next. I pulled up his just general information about him. Some general information about him just to figure out, okay, he's a writer, apparently, to some degree. So when you pull up the general information about Trotter, this is right here. He says he attended Monmouth, right here, Jerry Trotter. This was in 2020. He says his name is Trotter. He attended Monmouth University. He said he attended Monmouth University, this, that, and the other. Whatever the case, rooting for the Mets, Knicks, and Cowboys, right? This is in 2020. Organizations consistently bury ineptitude, this, that, and the other. Okay, that's what he said he likes. This was in 2020. He's rooting for the Mets, Knicks, and Cowboys. So, when digging further, and this is what's going to blow me, and I want to hear y'all take on this. And then when you move a little further in this, I found this. Okay, let me make sure I get it right. I found, hold on. Okay, I found this. We're moving along with it. Rigo's Rag, Jerry Trotter, March 9th, 2020. It says Jerry Trotter right here. This is what it says on his headline. Jerry Trotter is an associate editor for Fansides and covers the NFL, NBA, and MLB for Minute Media for 3 years. He's the current editor for the Washington Commanders. This was in March 9th, 2020. We wasn't even named Commanders back then. You see what I'm saying? It has Chase Young right here, injuries, season debut against the Giants. So he was a writer for us. Okay, so this is 2022. I guess this was the 2022 season he was writing. These are all 2022 articles. So we were Commanders by then. Let me take that back. So how is it? Oh, okay. So this is what I'm going to say. Just to Vito's point. If he's still with us. Oh, yeah, Vito down here. If he's still with us. Okay, Vito with us. And this is to Vito's point where he said they're just looking for a story. Let me ask y'all. This DC media is filled with people that none of us know. This DC media that covers the Redskins. They're filled with media that nobody knows. This guy, he has Dallas Cowboys all over his personal Twitter. But then you go over here and he's covering our team on quote unquote Rigo's Rags. I want to know if this media here is even to be trusted at all. Who are these guys? Where do they come from? Do they understand our culture, meaning the DC culture at all? Should they even be listened to? Because obviously they let anybody write anything and throw it on their site. What's your take on this? And as far as the media and this discovery that a guy that you guys are blasting all over the media, all over the place, is a person who y'all set up, y'all know very well. That this came from Rigo's Rag, and that's where the story got big. Rigo's Rag is the ones who aired the story about Trotter, saying how atrocious his take was on the Redskins, but he works for you guys. But you made it look like he was a Cowboys writer when he is a writer for you guys too. We got proof of it. So it's like a setup sort of a thing. Is this DC media toying with us using the Redskins? What is your take on all of this?
I think they pulling strings right now. Puppet match season. They don't have nothing to talk about right now. I mean, just about on every media take you look at, or media takeout, or however you want to say it, videos, Instagrams, ESPN, Facebook, X, you name it, it's going down with the skins. It's big talk about the Commanders, skins, whatever y'all want to call us. You know, there's big talk about the Washington football team right now on every platform.
But
And
are
it's
they
because,
just
and it's,
toying with us with all
it's because nothing has really been said much but Jaden Daniels about Jaden Daniels. I mean, you had to pick back Quan Martin, you know, last week or whatever. But other than that, everything's been Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels. They pulling strings now. I think it's puppet match season.
Are they toying with us with this?
Yeah, I said it's puppet match season. That's what you do when you're a puppet master. You pull strings and make stuff go your way.
Let me ask you, is this DC? Well, is these people who are covering the team? Obviously, these people are not even from this area. So how do they even understand the culture, the DC culture, enough to be in the positions they are in? And maybe should these networks, quote unquote, look for writers and look for people to cover the team who actually understand the team and understand the culture of the team? Because is it possible for someone from Detroit to come and write about the Redskins? I say no, because you got to understand certain things about the team. And so I say no. It's not possible. But let me get y'all take on it. I got a whole, a whole line of stuff I'm gonna say about it. But I want to get the guys' take first.
It's not necessarily a good look. I tell you that. Create a story to make a story. Remember I said that when we was talking, you know what I'm saying, about just the media here, period. Like, it's going to be a reach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Public perception, public information, all of those things are things that you used to have to go look for. Now, as we said a few minutes ago, and just any other time we try to tell guys about the show, like, today is the time of information, and information is new. It's around. Everybody can go get it. You don't gotta be, you don't gotta be in the hot places to find out the hot news now. You can get it on your phone. You can be within a second of finding out something that you really, really got a question and need an answer to it. The Washington Post, the Washington Times, ESPN, even, they're all reaching to try to find that connection with their viewers so that they can, get the news out to them fast as they can. It's 32 teams. Everybody can specifically follow your team now. Everybody's team seems like as if they have some type of internet personality that's associated with the team that they get their news from, whether it be good news or bad news or indifferent. And sometimes it's, football is one of the most exciting sports in the country. And as everyone knows it's also the one with the longest break. And nobody likes that break. Nobody. You know what I mean? So in that break, I think the media has to try to find something to do. No other sport pushes the needle the same way that football does. You got the NBA finals that just went off TV, and the draft is getting ready to come on in a couple of days, and the NFL is still kicking their butt in the news right now because people can't wait for the next season to come. You know what I'm saying? So it's something about the sport itself that that just drives curiosity, thoughts. It drives what is the team going to do. Everybody wants to know what's going on 6 months before the season starts so they can start with their predictions. And as we all know it, betting has made this sport probably even more fanatic than it was prior to this. With that being the case, you got to understand that, hey, people are going to try. They're going to try their hand. They're going to try their hand at seeing if they can spin the needle and turn the needle the way that they would like it to go, so that at the end of the day, they can say that they had the ghost take that nobody else was looking at. They had the angle, and then they can say at that point that on my show, I've always pointed out this and pointed out that. Well, we can say on our show that we already told everybody that a lot of that was going to be a crock of crap, and it was going to come a time when y'all had to pick between the people who was telling you was going to get this and the people that decided to sell you that. But here's the thing about selling you that. Selling you that means that they have to keep coming up with ways to find something like this to sell to you instead of the truth. And at the Nature Sports Show, we just tend to give you as much of the truth as we possibly can come up with, because it's not hard to make up something that just is.
Right. This is my take on it. Big Side, you got something to say, or y'all got something to say?
I said my take on it already.
Okay. Point, do you got anything you want to add? Maybe not. Okay, so this is my thing. I feel like the fans need to be very careful about where they receive their information from regarding the Redskins, because this is, for me at least, this is wild. This is wild that you essentially got caught. You got caught inducing a story that was never a story. You got caught Y'all essentially set somebody up to write something so that you can drive traffic to your own page. And y'all made it a really big story, as if it was any merit to anything he said, which is interesting. When Vito pulled the stats up, it actually supported what Eckler said. So you just use a player. You talk trash about the coach. You said Dan Quinn wasn't. Basically, he started off on a bust situation. It was induced by our own media, a story like that. I think that goes to question the integrity of the people of Rigo's Rag for sure. And the people that are surrounding this team and the media. Y'all are literally inducing stories. Well, you got caught on this one. Maybe not on other ones, but you got caught on this one. And if we start to look up some of this other stuff, you might got some juice or some fire where it's smoke. Because this is really alarming. And so I encourage the fans, find some people from DC who've been watching the team for 20, 30 years. Not casual fans. If you want some real information, you go to the real fans who really follow them. Not the casuals. The casuals will run you all over the place. And no offense to a lot of these media people are casuals. They are casuals. Just because you talk to the players or you have access to the locker room or you have a press pass don't mean you're not a casual. A lot of them don't know anything about this team, the culture, the city, the area, or anything else. A lot of them even might have lived in this area and be from this area and still don't know nothing about the area. A lot of them don't care to know nothing about the area. But guess what? The area is linked to the team. You got to know about the area to know about the team. You got to know about DC culture to know anything about the Redskins or Commanders or whatever you want to call them. You don't know nothing about them if you don't know about DC. It is linked. It is linked. You know. So we're going to move into final thoughts, and then I'll give my final thought on everything else that need to be said. What y'all got on final thoughts?
Final thoughts for me is Jaden, keep your focus on your game no matter what. Rigo Rag, that was some raggedy stuff y'all did. Sam Howell, I hope you do better where you at. Last but not least, Terry, I love you, my guy, and I'm looking to get 13 from you this season. That's my final thoughts. Here on Major Mondays, real subtle and easy. Yes, sir.
You know what it is. Point, if you're still with us, Point, you can get yours in. Or Vito, either one. Vito, you still with us? You get your final thought in? I'll go with my final thought then. And just shout out for the guys if they don't say nothing before then. Let me go with my final thought. So you got a situation. We went over several subjects today here on the Nature Sports Podcast, Major Mondays. We went over a couple subjects. I don't want this fan base to think it's going to be sweet, to think we're going to just waltz over the league this year. Because what happens when you do that is that you hype yourself up. Man, we about to be a beast. You go around, you tell everybody, man, yeah, we're going to light it up this year. We got the team, we got the rookie, we got and then the first game you lose 35, whatever. Second game you lose again to a team you probably should beat. Third game you win. Fourth game you lose again. You 1-3 now. And now you're going to get angry because you feel like you was lied to. Like they hyped the team up just to be the same old team. They hyped it. You brought this rookie in. You made us think you got this guy and from San Francisco, this general manager. All the people he brought in is not doing the things that we thought. This new coach and Dan Quinn is coaching like he in Atlanta again. And We knew these people were bum. Oh, same old, same old. The disappointment hits like a ton of bricks when you didn't hype yourself up. The disappointment is far more than if you said, hey, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But I'm just going to sit back and chill and watch what happened and create realistic expectations for what I've already seen. Not because of what we think is going to happen. That ain't going to work. That's going to get you caught up looking crazy out here. That's like you can say, well, I think I'm going to get $1 million tomorrow. And you hype yourself up just to know that $1 million going to come. And then the next day, guess what? $1 million don't come. Now you're in your feelings about something you ain't had no business jumping out there expecting in the beginning. Let's stop expecting. We don't know what is going to happen. We got to tone it down a little bit. They talk about this is slated. They love that word, slated. Something is slated to be. Slated. What? Ain't nothing slated. What y'all talking about? Ain't no snap been played yet. Not even a preseason game. Not even a scrimmage. And it's not going to be as easy as y'all think it is going to be. It is football. You never know until you get on that field. That's the first thing with the whole Jaden Daniels hype train. The hype train that everybody on. We're expected to do what? Well, that ain't, we went over the list. We was expected to be 27th when we went over the list. So I don't understand. It's a lot of fan hype. Media in Vegas ain't caught on yet. So whatever hype that's going on is really amongst the fans. Secondly, like Big Son said, Rigo's rag, that was rag. That was rag. Raggedy. Which y'all did. It's rag, man. I encourage the fans. Find some people who really understand this team from this area to support. It's a lot of different podcasts out there. Of course, you can come to the nature. More than welcome, come to the nature, baby, and rock with us. Because we're going to give it to you how we're supposed to give it to you. But find somebody from this area to rock with. It's a lot of podcasts out here. Because I mean, that media that sits in front of the team and asks questions, I don't know if I can trust them anymore. All these, it just seemed like they all working together in cahoots to create stories, even whether they there or not there. You down the team, you dog players, you talk trash about players, unwarranted. See, I don't like Kirk Cousins because he was here for 5 years. I got a reason not to like him. I can tell you about games. I can tell you some games that if you watched or you knew the scenario, you'd probably be pissed off too if you was a Redskin fan. So yes, when I talk trash unabatedly to Kirk Cousins, and I'm going to continue to talk trash unabatedly to Kirk Cousins. So you get that out your mind now. I don't care. As long as he playing in the NFL, I'm going to talk trash about Kirk Cousins.
That's why I said that one of the games you thought we could win. Kirk Cousins.
No, I just said if he on the field, I think we can win. We weren't supposed to lose to him last time we came in with Minnesota when they barely beat us by 2 points or whatever it was. Barely. I don't like, and that's one quarterback I don't like losing to. Him, Dak Prescott either. I don't like losing no daggone Dak Prescott.
Would you rather lose Kurt or Dak?
Or Hurts.
Nah, not Hurts. Forget Hurts. Kurt or Dak?
Yeah, I can't stand him. I can't stand
losing to Hurts. I'm sorry.
So you would rather lose? You would rather lose to Dak? All right. So how about this? You only win one game, right? You can only win one of these games. Is Hurts it's Dak, and it's Kurt. What is the one game?
Hurts. Hurts.
I'm actually going.
Jalen, before a playoff game. Jalen.
It's hurt.
Nah, I'm actually going to take. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna take Kirk Cousins because he's the only one that's not in the division.
I'm not. That's the last. I'm gonna take him to lose first. I wouldn't lose to Dak before I lose to him.
You'd rather lose to Dak than Kirk?
Absolutely.
But that means losing to the Cowboys.
Man, look. They equal. Kirk Cousins, the hate for Kirk Cousins might even be a little bit more. See, the Cowboys had never put on a Redskin jersey and stank it up and gave away playoff games and all this weird stuff. It didn't care and sucked $20 million, $30 million a year when it wasn't getting it like that. Knowing he was a bum.
I mean, if you walk into a bank right now and they say they're gonna give you $30 million, even though you don't deserve it, ain't you gonna
I ain't
take
taking
it?
the people money. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it.
Oh, hey, Big
I
Sam, what about you?
might say it now. What I might see if I was, and this is why I blame Kirk Cousins, because what Kirk Cousins could have said and should have said was, "Hey, man, look, I know y'all want to give me this, but I'll take this, take that other money, and go get me some help." No, he held hostage the whole organization until they gave him every flocking penny that they could find to give him, to suck under a brick to give him. It doesn't matter what else. He didn't care if nobody else stayed. I don't care. Give me mine. I don't care what else happened. And he had no intention on winning. Took the money with no intention and no care about winning. He robbed us. He was worse than Albert Hainsworth, for sure. For sure.
I don't know, man.
Kirk Cousins did it for 5 years. He ain't do it for one. Albert Hainsworth got us 1 year. Kirk Cousins got us for 5.
Kurt only got us for 2 years.
No, he didn't. He got us we got Alex Smith in 2018. Kirk Cousins became the starting quarterback in 2014. 13 for real. He played most of the 13.
But he didn't get paid. He wasn't even still on that rookie contract. He didn't get paid. He didn't get paid until like the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he should have gave it up when he realized he wasn't good. And after 2013.
Well, look.
He should have never tried.
Listen. In all retrospect, right?
Yeah.
In all retrospect, right? We started John Beck.
That's before he got here. That's before Kirk Cousins got here.
But what I'm saying is that Kurt probably looked at it like, hey, if they gonna start John Beck in this organization,
it's the fact that he asked for all that money knowing he was a bum. Knowing he's a bum, and he didn't care if we won or not. You just gonna take the money. You robbed us, bro. Fraud.
I agree. It's been a couple bank robberies here, and Kurt is one of them, and Albert Hainsworth is another.
Fraud, baby. Fraud.
Albert Hainsworth is another person that robbed us.
Asked for some of that money back. What he did out there.
But shit, I'm about to log off because it is getting late.
Wait, your final thoughts. No, get your final thoughts in. My bad.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get up in the light a little bit, do my final thoughts, because I got some stuff to say. So look, my final thought is I'm sick and tired of Washington media. I'm sick and tired of the media not supporting our franchises. I'm sick and tired of the media jumping at bad stories when in actuality we have good stories that they can report on as well. I'm so sick and tired of the franchises here in Washington. Now, this is one thing I am going to say is Adam Peters has been a good breath of fresh air, okay? And I respect what he has done in the off season because this has been the best off season as far as just getting a good staff in the building, getting good players on the team that I've seen probably ever in this area. Is that going to resonate on the field? Yet to be seen. So I can't really give a stamp of approval, but I will say in this offseason, Adam Peters did his job. And I want to give a big shout out to Adam Peters when it comes to that. But the media isn't focusing on how well Adam Peters done in the offseason. They're focusing on whether Jaden Daniels is poaching from the San Francisco 49ers, you know? And while I do understand a story is a story and they got to run a story, there are better stories to report on. So I'm going to say for my final thought, Washington media, get it together, man. Get it together. And that's point B, signing out.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me get my final thought in. Point B signed out. It's Major Mondays here on Studio Runners. And so, just my final thought. DC media, DC, just respect the team, respect the area, respect the culture. I'm going to sign out here, Studio Runners, on the Nature Sports Network. Nature Sports. You know, make sure y'all subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow us on wherever you can follow us at, man. We on all the platforms, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you see us at, man. Make sure you follow us. Follow Studio Runners on Twitter, 24-hour TV. Coming up next, you got some you got a replay of this show tonight. Be right back at it tomorrow, 24 hours a day, man. Signing out, ETA Money Row. Y'all know what it is.